Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and this is the Nerdrotic Nooner. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody had a good evening. I have lost track of days. Sorry, this one is late. I was cutting my last Doctor Who video into the wee hours of the morning, thanks to the wonderful program that I use, ScreenFlow, which is it's like a cheap editing program on Mac. It's pretty easy. I like it. I'm normally like a Final Cut Pro Premiere guy, but I use this because it's just easier. But man, that thing crashed on me last night, and I had to redo that entire video. So I was up till 3 a.m, way past my bedtime. So I had to sleep in a little bit, and thankfully, Mrs. Nerdrotic let me do that. Usually she doesn't, so it's cool. How's it going, everybody? Attic Spider, Kenobi Crazy One, Brent Newman, Jonah Arts, Broly, Canisse, sorry, Howard Bandy, Lamac Ajax, Liam Hodgetts, greetings, sir, Rebecca Gold, Halam 899, watching for the first time again, Mary Ashmead and her wrench. Mary, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Thank you for the message. We appreciate you. We do. Kato Roan, Death Networks. Ooh, that sounds grim. Penn Farm Girl, Kato Roan, Chris Persia. How's it going, everybody? I want to go. Oh, Chris Persia has already given us a Canadian $2 super chat. Gary, you are our Nerdstradamus. Own it. Oh, yeah. That one just kind of rolled off the tongue. Sorry about that. It's like that Humber. Is that like a humble water filter merchant? Yes, exactly. Death Merchants, Death Network. Why did I say Death Merchant? See, I'm tired, folks. I'm really freaking tired. Lee Crystal One, how's it going? Yeah, this could be a punchy live stream, folks. So this will probably be the closest you'll ever see to me being drunk, because I'm going on like 4 hours sleep now. So I finally watched the video by, oh my God, what's his name? Samuel, because he's so clever. He spells his name with a Y, kind of like Rianne Johnson. Samuel Davies. Now I will stick to our firm policy here of thou does not speak ill of other YouTubers. We do not do that ever. I will never do that. So no personal attacks. I'm just going to respond to Samuel's review video. First, I want to say thanks, bud. I appreciate it. You are no more legit until another YouTuber talks about you. That was awesome. I mean, it's not quite as good as being banned from a Facebook group like Midnight's Edge got. You know, that's a trophy to a YouTuber. But it was nice to be and Clownfish TV. You know, we've got to give our major props to Clownfish TV. I really wasn't aware of them, and I apologize. I will be subscribing to them today. They lumped ourselves and Clownfish TV, Samuel did, not they, into this video he did. So props to you guys. I'm going to watch all your videos. It looks like I like the cut of your jib, Clownfish TV. So we're going to check you out. And I apologize for taking so long. It looks like we're kind of in this together, and that is a good thing. So I'll let a few people roll in, and I will just respond to the guy didn't attack us or anything. He just basically, it's funny that he used Spider-Man as kind of a meme or something to go, where do these guys come from? Well, you know, daddy Nerdrotic met a mommy Nerdrotic, and they had relations and made a little Nerdrotic who grew up to have a beard and do a YouTube show. Okay, Samuel. He sounds young. He does sound young. So I also like that his nerd cred is he wrote a dissertation on fandom. So, you know, there's nothing better than referring to your own stuff for credentials. You know, he could have written that for I don't know what, I don't know where. I will briefly tell you mine as far as Doctor Who fandom. Like, nobody has to prove if you're a fan of if you're a fan of something, you're a fan of something. You could be new or old, all are welcome. Just, you know, a little humility maybe is a good thing. You know, when I'm new to something, I ask a lot of questions. I try to figure. When I was new to Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire, because the book had been out 10 years. God, yeah, 10 years when I got into it. I hit up my friends who knew about it. I mean, I was just full of questions, and thank God there was tons of great forums out there. So I became an instant fan and just gobbled up everything. With Doctor Who, I was a casual fan when I was younger, became a bigger fan later, and just gobbled everything up, everything I could. I thank you, Paul Reed. Yes, I like this shirt. The shirt's old, by the way. My blue velvet shirt. The shirt's is like 20 something years old. So Doctor Who, what gives me, I used to own a comic store here in San Francisco. So I actually, dealt in pop culture, made my living off pop culture, paid my bills off pop culture, bought a house off pop culture, and did pretty well. Made some mistakes. That's a story for another day. Like all people do. But my shop had the biggest Doctor Who section in Northern California. We're not a small state, if you've checked. I believe you're from the good old UK. It's a state about the size of your country, and not the same population. I think we have half the population of your country, but not bad. It's formerly the 7th largest economy in the world. Now, most of it's in SoCal. Let's be real. Actually, about 20 miles north of me, there's nothing but Bigfoot and and a couple prisons. But I sold Doctor Who stuff for quite some time. It was quite successful at it. Made quite a few Doctor Who fans myself. Sold thousands of dollars worth of Doctor Who stuff to hundreds, possibly thousands of people. And we were all just happy. We were happy Doctor Who fans until recently. So yeah, and I've done, you can watch all the videos, my feelings on that stuff, but this is just, it's interesting that I got under this person's skin, and it's because of the rumors that he reported, that we reported. Now, we were just reporting rumors from Starburst magazine. That article is gone, by the way, but thanks to the internet, I have screen capped it, and I just right away, nobody ever said Jodie and Chris Chibnall were leaving this year. Nobody ever said that. That was not reported that way. It was never said. We always said might. This is a rumor, but I'll show you what they said. And I'll get to you guys in the chat just a second. Here is what they said. They said, new showrunner Chris Chibnall hasn't been happy behind the scenes and is set to quit after series 12. We can only speculate as to the possible reasons. If indeed the story is true, but Chibnall told us quite firmly in 2013, this is a quote directly to the magazine, that he didn't want the showrunner job, and it's possible after the success of Broadchurch that the BBC pursued him for it against his better wishes, or simply that he changed his mind. Either way, if there is any truth to the rumor, then it's also said that Jodie Whittaker would not want to continue as the Doctor without Chibnall at the helm. I don't know where they get this. This is just speculation on their part, and would leave at the same time as he did. Now, this is something that usually happens with Doctor Who if a creator leaves. Well, not usually, but it has happened before in the past. But sometimes the Doctors stay through the creators too. They wanted Tennant to stay with Stephen Moffat, and there was some talk of it actually happening, but then he left with Russell T Davies. A good decision on his part, I believe. He's done quite well for himself. So the rumor sticks that Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall might be leaving after season 12. And as events have unfolded since our video saying initially there would be a delay, and then there was an article earlier denying that from the BBC. The BBC actually came out with a statement to Starburst saying that, no, we're going to have a season in 2019. So they thought they were going to have a season as early as 2 weeks ago. So that changed in the last 2 weeks. Because again, that was a statement from the BBC stating there will be a series in 2019. And we now know there will not be a series in 2019. It is indeed delayed till 2020, which was one of those nasty little fan-based rumors that Sam Ewell was talking about that turned out to be true. See, another argument is like when you report rumors, you look bad later. Not if you say it's a rumor. Not if you go, this could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. If if you want to be a news agency like the BBC, I totally understand why you want to fact check sources and stuff like that. We're not that. We are some people with a mic who are just talking with friends. The reason we started this podcast was just to continue the conversations we had at the comic shop, which were great for 10 years straight. All I did was talk to people in my store about stuff like this. And that's all this is. We are a news agency. We are critictators, maybe. We're some kind of critics and kind of commentators, but and I don't know. My qualifications are that I'm breathing right now. That's it. and I've done some work. I did some work at Hollywood. I've worked in the comic shop, but that doesn't make me more qualified than anybody else. There is Star Trek fans who have never worked in Star Trek, but have been fans for 40 years and know more about it than the actual people working on it. That's one of the things. I went back to do some research on the Picard stuff, and I wanted to watch his video of his announcement, and I completely forgot that Patrick Stewart said there are episodes of Next Generation that he had never seen. and you think about it logically, you're like, well, it's a job to him. It's simply a job to him. Why would you see episodes if you didn't really care about the stuff and you didn't need to? I'm curious to see. I would dare say that William Shatner has seen every episode of the original series. I would go that far. So and we'll talk about this later. A lot of people talk, saying, "Oh, the Picard series can't be bad because Patrick Stewart's involved." This is a man who, like, he respected the role. He respects Star Trek, but he didn't watch every Next Generation episode. And I think that does speak volumes. I mean, it's nothing bad against him. It's not a judgment. It's just his level of fandom of his own show. He's a classically trained actor. Okay. He's, Shakespearean. Is he a sir? I think he's a sir. That's balls to be a sir. So let's get to the chat. And, but Joe defended us on Twitter. Joe, thank you. If you're out there, Joe, thank you for defending us on Twitter. Thanks for shouting this out. And we really appreciate you guys having our back. And I mean, don't be hard on the kid. I mean, like he didn't really, he just shook his head at us, and that's understandable. A lot of people do that. Mrs. Nerdrotic does that to me every day. So, it's okay. But hey, at least we show our face here. I show my face, so I don't hide behind transitions and screenshots. Mostly because I just didn't know what the hell I was doing in the beginning. I probably would have done that if I had a chance to redo that. Sir Lord Patrick, my liege Stewart. Yeah, God, he's God Stewart. He's God Stewart. Oh man. Let's get to the chat. I don't want to make it sound like I'm putting shade on like one of my favorite actors of all time. I mean, he's kind of the king of genre. He's he succeeded in the comic book realm and the science fiction realm. I mean, who does that? He was at Excalibur too. He did the single greatest overacting scene I have ever seen in any film ever, is when he's trying to pull Excalibur out of the stone. His whole act on that is the funniest thing ever. All right. It still looks good for a 20-year-old shirt. Yes, it does. Well, it helps to lose it for 10 years and then find it in a crate. Melissa, my wife, Mrs. Nerdrotic, does not throw any clothes away, so we get these bags and hermetically seal it and throw them in. We got so much goddamn stuff. Oh, and I watched Elseworlds. I watched some CW, folks, and I lived to tell about it. So we will be talking about the Elseworlds as well. James Hardy says, my 40 years or so of living the nerd life trumps a desertion. So does yours. Yes. I mean, it's really good that he did a desertion on fandom, and man, many of those need to be done. But hey, Studies are only as good as the people who write them. Actually, there is one out today that we could talk about later. Like again, we'll not talk about the politics of it, but the media is going to run with this one, folks. So I want to tell you right now that the study is it's true, but as with all studies, it's what's in the numbers, the parameters, how they framed it. But the study says that female-led movies make more money than male-led movies. And oh, now I can't find it. But okay, and here I have it in my history. There it is. So female-led movies make more money than male-led movies based on the years. I'm going to the study right now, 2014 through 2017. And they used anything with the female lead. So what they didn't tell you is they chose Star Wars and Wonder Woman and Sleeping Beauty. And yes, and so what they did was here, I'll just show you real quick. They showed you a graph, but there's no details on the graph. So absolutely, yes, women kicked ass over these 3 years, man. I don't know. I think the Hunger Games might have been coming out this time too, right? Yeah, I kind of like the first Hunger Games movie. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. Definitely better than Twilight. Oh my God. That's probably why I went in there. I'm like, oh my God, this was not Twilight. Woohoo. Dodged a bullet. So here's the study. And yeah, of course, it's absolutely true. But I looked everywhere to find out what movies they chose, and I have yet to find it. And I spent 20 minutes on their website looking. I mean, there's nothing that just stands out that says we picked Wonder Woman and Star Wars, but it's true. It's true. But the devil's in the details, folks. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Yay. Female-led movies making money is good. Making money is good. We want Hollywood to do well, so they keep giving us good stuff. The problem is it's not been very good lately. But yeah, that's your graph and everything. But the dishonesty behind it is they don't show you like they handpicked certain movies. It was kind of like my video last night, not to promote my video too much, but the one where I'm talking about the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Well, I mean, I picked all the 1-star reviews. It was easy. I just what I did was I just clicked. I closed my eyes. I clicked a couple things and then I screenshot whatever I came up with, and it was all half-star. There was like about 10 pages of 5-star straight reviews with just names and no reviews. The 1-star reviews were the most reviewed ones. They don't count most of those. I think those little flags on those, by the way, are the ones that count. So I digress. Yes, studies can be bullshit, but they're good for the person doing it. I mean, if he's a kid, he's trying to get a good grade in school. He sounds like he's what, 20 something. It's like, it's not even fair. They also chose a time period where more movies were female led throughout the periods. Yeah, listen, I don't want to sound like I'm like, oh, fuck that. I don't want girls leading the movies and making money, but that's bullshit. No, I don't mind at all. It's awesome. Wonder Woman was a cool movie. I like Gal Gadot. Hey, before we saw Force Awakens, I didn't have a problem with the cast at all. I've said it before. I was like, this looks pretty interesting. Let's see where they go with it. And they went with nowhere. So content, folks, content. And it's also because Hollywood made a concerted effort to do it, which is, something they probably should have done. I love that Hollywood projects at us all the time. And like, it's like, we're the ones who did all this. We did all the casting, we did all the, the couch casting. Speaking of which, Harvey Weinstein's in trouble. That man. Have not bought you a pizza in a while. Sorry, my bad. Brent Newman, 5 pounds. No worries. I didn't go this morning. I slept. I never do this. I slept until like 8:30 in the morning. That felt awesome. But I was also up till 3. So that's not good. I am not young. And it feels so bad when you stay up late when you're old. And then, of course, I'm going to hit the age where I'm start waking up at 4:00 in the morning and having a piece of toast, and then complaining about kids on my lawn when I don't even own a lawn. Death Network says, I kind of like the Twilight books. Don't kill me. I'm not going to kill you. No, Mrs. Nerdrotic loved them. And I do. I hope I don't pass judgment on other people for liking stuff. Just don't pass judgment on me for not liking stuff. We can always I don't choose my friends over what politics they have or what shit they're into. I just are they cool? That's it. I mean, we can, listen. I have friends who like Supergirl. I despise that show. Although I did watch an episode and enjoyed it because of the Superman stuff, though. I do like that Superman. I do a lot. Thank you, Brent Newman, and I will buy a pizza right after this show. Let's get up to the chat. Yes, the Batman. I don't want to. I mean, listen. You are free to say that. Well, yeah. They turned him into kind of a beta. We'll say beta. Yeah, that whole Lois Lane thing in it. Oh. Well, I'll tell you. You know what? My favorite scene from the first Elseworlds was it the first one? It was the first one where we saw Clark and Lois Lane. This is my favorite scene. She was talking. They were talking about them going to Argo, and now she's the most feared reporter on 2 planets, and Clark is just like over complimenting her. Like that's one of the things I hate about the CW is there's over affirmation. Everybody's all, you're awesome. You know how awesome you are. You're so awesome. Look at her. She's awesome. That dude is awesome. He's awesome. That's called piss poor writing. So they feel like they say, just like saying, oh, she's an awesome scientist. And then they don't show us her doing anything scientific at all. So we're just supposed to assume because somebody said it on screen. That's bad writing. So after they mention that Clark goes, oh, she's the most feared reporter on 2 planets. She's all, yet I still make 20 cents less an hour than you do. And he just smiles. I'm like, what? Okay, maybe because they're on Earth 38, but this is at 1960. Okay, yes, there's still wage gaps for everything, but I'll just give you an example where I worked at Tesla. I worked in the parts department, right? And there was a female who was a starting technician, like didn't know shit, but she was a technician. I have forgotten more than she'll ever know. And she made twice as much, and good for her because she was a technician. They needed technicians. They gave her more money. It was merit based. It was need based. And I don't work on cars because I suck at it. I'm like, even though I know a lot about it, I completely suck at it. And yeah. So I don't, yeah, that's the point. And how did that fit into the story at all? How did that move anything ahead? That's why I don't like the CW. I'm going to make a video eventually why I really turned on the CW because I used to love it. The first thing we reviewed was Arrow. The very first thing we talked about was Arrow and how much, if you go back to our first podcast, I am just preaching the gospel of Arrow. I'm like, oh my God, this was amazing. The fight scenes and him doing pull-ups in the ceiling, and it's dark, and holy shit, the flashbacks, and this is everything I want in a superhero TV show. And then I saw Daredevil and it kind of killed it for me. Everything. I thought you hatched from an interdimensional space egg, OG Spocklove. I cannot confirm nor deny that, OG Spocklove. But somebody had to lay that egg. Maybe Harvey is my mom and dad. I am adopted. I have no idea. Many actors prefer not to watch their work. That is true, CD Horde. That is true. Star Trek's a different beast, though. But yes. Hey, there's a lot of podcasters who will not listen to their own podcasts. I would dare say most. It's really hard. It is. You want to talk about, like, I sprain my face cringing from listening to, but I have to. That's how you get better. Just listening to myself, I'm like, I said what? Oh my God. Uh, Shatner probably has Star Trek on permanent replay, says Bill Whitaker. Yep. That's why I think it's a different when you're part of something. Now, yeah, it's a lot of episodes to watch. So yeah, I'm going to forgive Patrick Stewart for that. That is not a big deal. But if you're part of a movie franchise, like Harrison Ford probably doesn't watch Star Wars. I would imagine he's maybe watched them once. Um, so disappointed in that guy's act. Somebody brought it up in a chat on another. God, I wish I could remember to give you the credit because it was a great statement. The person who has done the most harm to the character of Han Solo is Harrison Ford. CW shows have become yes, they I will say it. CW shows have become PC. We'll say it. That's the same reason I don't like Doctor Who's the same reason I don't like the CW shows. And of course, the main reason is talking about feelings in hallways. And oh, did we get that? And it would grind because the Elseworlds was somewhat entertaining, but it would grind it to a halt because and I'm not watching the shows anymore. So Oliver is having a problem with Felicity because of reasons and secrets. And he's growing different because, well, most people do evolve over time. It's a thing. It's called growing up, growing older. But in the CW, it's considered a secret. And I don't understand what's going on with him. He's evolving. He's changing. Well, he went to prison. Prison changes somebody. No matter how long you spend in there, it changes you fundamentally. And yeah, but of course, in typical CW fashion, I don't care. He's been to prison. What about me and my needs? I used to like Felicity so much. Sir Patrick and Dune was amazing, Lamont. Dune is a movie that I hated when it came out and I love now, called Evolving, Growing Up, Getting Older. Ah, Dalek laugh. Yes. Oh, I thought you meant the TV show Excalibur. No, the movie Excalibur. I did not watch the TV show Excalibur. Didn't Chris Chibi? We're gonna call him Chibi now because I liked how that one guy was calling him Chibi in the comments. Yeah, Chibi wrote for that, didn't he? Lois Thor Lane, a DJD show. Well played. Yes. Yeah. So if anybody has any doubts if Captain Marvel is not going to get the kill shot on Thanos, I thought a nice portents was the end of Elseworlds. I think that's exactly how they'll bring Captain Marvel in at the end of Avengers Endgame. I'm just done with the CW. And Gary, you go, wait a minute, they're not even related. DC, Marvel, no. Watch how everything is played out across all of pop culture. Hollywood loves to follow their own trends. They're very unoriginal. Hollywood is the place where trends go to die. They are not created there. Of late, people think that now, but no, trends are started, for lack of a better term, on the streets by us, by people in random places, and Hollywood picks them up years later, and that's where they go to die. Patrick Stewart in Life Force was interesting. Oh, Life Force, Endless Echo. Life Force, naked woman walking around for half the movie. And then, of course, not to be outdone by Species, or Species not to be outdone by Life Force. But I like Life Force. Doom was the first time I realized Sir Patrick is more than a cheap TV actor. Yeah. At first, when I first saw him on Star Trek, guys, I was like, what? I was like, we were all expecting to get just a remake of the original series. We're going to get like a swaggering captain, and that change of direction. And we watched the first season, and this will tie into Doctor Who's first season, good ratings. Everybody sat through Star Trek, The Next Generation, the first season, because it was Star Trek. And it wasn't good, but we rationalized it in our head that it was good, and we're going to stick with it. And this is going to get better. This is going to get better. And honestly, in the first season, there's a couple episodes that are pretty good, but it was just nice to have it back. But after I was remember watching the last one with my best friend back in the 80s, and we turned around each other. Oh, this is never going to make it. Star Trek's is dead. Boy, were we wrong. But that was back in the day when you could give something a chance, and I guess it did gangbusters too. It did great. So, yeah, yeah. Elseworlds was pretty good in my opinion, says Kato Roan. I was entertained by it. I liked moments, but mm, there's CW moments that just rip me out of the show. Now seeing John Wesley Shipp as Flash, um, I don't know what happened to him at the end. They just blinked him out of nowhere. Sorry, spoilers. But that was brilliant. Seeing lots of Superman was good. Although, God, the writing, man. It's just, I'm talking about shake my head. The hallways I have nothing against the hallways, Love Pawn. It's the feelings in them. If there's fighting in hallways, like Daredevil season 3 or Daredevil season 1, episode 3 is the antidote to feelings in hallways. That fight scene cleanses away feelings in hallways. Crisis on Infinite Worlds is set to cross over next year. It is Travis. And this is something they've been setting up since Flash season 1. There was some comic book stuff I like the Red Skies, from Crisis. I mean, they were foreshadowing it pretty heavy. So if you don't know, the Red Skies it's part of the Crisis crossover in DC Comics, and it also coined the phrase the Red Sky crossover, which it was a giant crossover event in comic books, and you had to buy all these other titles you wouldn't normally buy because it would be a Crisis crossover. And one comic, I can't remember which one, literally just had a red sky, and that made it part of the story, even though it had nothing to do with it other than the sky was red in one panel. That's why we have a Red Sky crossover. That's a comic book shop jargon for you. The Batwoman is hot, says OG Spock Love. She is a very attractive young lady who she was not good. They're gonna do a whole show with her. The character of Batwoman, I read the comics, they were pretty good. The ones from the early aughts. I haven't seen CW in about 3 years. That's about, I kind of dip in and out when they do these crossover things. The crossover things are cool. I mean, they're fun. But Supergirl gets on the screen and I just, oh my God. And that was one of my favorite DC characters when I was a kid. Yeah, I like Supergirl. I got to get another window up here, folks. Give me just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I don't need his video up anymore. I have a bad habit of keeping, that's why. Pocket Jacks Comics. When do I get to come on and discuss my comic book on KS Guinevere and the Divinity Factory for $5? Well, I have to look at the comic. And but if you'd like to come on, we could talk about it on one of our live streams. But I have to look at the comic first before I give thumbs up. I appreciate the super chat, but yeah, I will check it out. We will talk. I am on Twitter. My DMs are open. Thank you for the super chat. I love supporting creators, though. I do. When my shop does eventually open, all indie books that I purchase will be on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I will not be ordering any of them through Diamond. I would recommend that all indie creators stop going through Diamond. They hose you. They completely hose you, and it's much better and cheaper to go on your own platform and start a YouTube channel. Forget, take that time and money you would go to submit to Diamond and give yourself a year. It's going to take a time, and then build yourself a YouTube channel, and it would be much better for you. Trust me. Even if it doesn't have to have 100,000 subs or even 10,000 subs. If you get a YouTube channel going with a couple thousand subs, that's a platform, and it'll really work for you. Oh yes, make sure to lick that button. Thank you, Mary Ashmead. Uh, no matter what they do with the Picard series, this is a Audit Watcher. No matter what they do with the Picard series, his character has to be influenced by the events of All Good Things. After all, he was the only person to retain memories of it. Oh, yes, agreed. Absolutely agreed. And I don't know if they can. We're really going to see. I mean, I believe Midnight's Edge 100%. All right. And Doomcock. That this series has to be 25% different to meet some kind of parameters for the bad robot deal that JJ Abrams and Alex. JJ Abrams is a much better businessman than he is a director. I mean, as far as a businessman goes, genius. Absolute genius. Creatively, um I was very proud of myself with the Hydra of the Apocalypse. I threw that together in like 3 minutes and it really shows on my Photoshop. But yes, the Hydra of the franchise Apocalypse. Um, so yes, he's very clever dude. And the deal they struck with they host CBS and Bad Robot is in control of Star Wars and Star Trek. That's not dumb. I mean, what they've done with it is dumb, but like getting control of it is not dumb. That's crazy smart. Um, yeah, it's got to be different. So, and they keep saying that. That's the one thing I wanted to talk about was the word they use over and over and over again is it's going to be different. Be ready for it to be different. This is not the Picard you know. We are going to modernize the series set in the future, which I'm trying to wrap my head around. I mean, I know what they mean. Okay. We all know what they mean. So the writer's room for the Picard series has Akiva Goldsman, yeah, and Michael Chabon, Berkeley, California's own Michael Chabon, and I mean like militant Berkeleyite or Berkeleyan or whatever you want to call them. People from Berkeley. It's a different planet over there, folks. I live 12 miles away from it, 13 miles away from it, and it is Planet Berkeley. Berserkly, as we like to call it. And yeah, so they're telling us with these two writers, this is going to be a very different show. It's not the Picard you know. So you can draw your own conclusions from that. I think it'll be very similar to Doctor Who. I think the show will be a little deeper because I mean, Shaban and Akiva Goldsman are better writers than what Doctor Who has right now, but not that means I'm not saying they're good. Shaban has written a book that I liked and enjoyed quite a bit, but that's it. He also wrote a god awful Spider-Man 2 script, which is available. Is Drew's Scriptorama still around? I remember that's one of those old school websites. That thing was around like 20 years ago. I got to see if Drew's Scriptorama is still around because that's where where we used to go and read all the scripts. And remember, I'm old now, so like you guys are like, of course it's still around because you're all internet savvy, and I'm kind of internet savvy. Uh, oh God, yes, it's still there. Let's see if Michael Chabon's Spider. Oh no. Oh, okay. So it gets you to. Oh my God, yeah. This this website truly does look like it was made in the 90s. It is still. I don't think he's updated it quite a while. Spider Man 2. Uh, and then it takes me back to Google. Is this it? Yeah, that might be it. Oh, it's a dialogue transcript. I don't want to do that. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's not around very much. So Drew Scriptorama used to be a really cool website where you could read all the scripts and you got to read Superman Lives by Kevin Smith and all the horrible I printed them out back in the old days. So I printed out George Lucas's The Star Wars. Oh my God. Uh, Eddie from space. Hello, first time live. Yay. Hey, welcome, Eddie from space. How is space? Space is big, really, really big. You think it's a long way to the chemist. I didn't get that totally right, but you know what I'm talking about. Douglas Adams, man. Never forget. Tommelfinger, I loved your Titans edit. It was so fucking funny. Okay, so I shared it on my Twitter. It's on Tommelfinger's YouTube channel. He threw together, upon request, all the violence to the Teen Titans TV show, to the Puffy Amiyumi Teen Titans Go song. That's really cute, by these really, really cute Japanese girls who Melissa and I met and were just like freaking awesome. They were so cool. And I loved that theme, by the way. I loved the rock version of the theme. They played it at Comic-Con. It was dope. Berkeley Surf Treftronics. Man, you were picking up what I'm putting down, sir. Berkeley Picard with a turtleneck sweater and an alligator shirt. Absolutely. One of those big academic sweaters, you know, always holding a book. And he's going to be scruffy. He'll have a beard. I swear he'll have a beard. And he'll be the Dominion War will have changed him. Something will have changed him, or maybe the effects. I mean, you could work with what happened at All Good Things. Although that, man, fucking with that finale. How do you guys rate that finale? I rate it as one of the better finales of a TV show ever. Now, Newhart, to me, was the greatest finale ever. That was the best ever finale, was Newhart. MASH, that's up there too. That one's solid. I'm also a fan of Angel's finale. We need to turn the like button up into 11. Hey, yeah, it really helps to like. I mean, I hate telling people what to do. You know what I mean? Not a big fan of it. If you would like to lick the button, for sure to get a little, sanitizer thing and wipe it off. And Picard and Crusher walking the universe. Be like Kung Fu. Trek Fu. Snatch the tricorder from my hand. I can't do a Picard. Well, I can, but I need to warm up for it. Maybe Nathan Newman. Maybe. What is Bad Robot? Alexander Vikovsky? Are you joking with me? I mean, I don't mean to like. Bad Robot is the production company that J.J. Abrams runs. Not everybody might know that, so I didn't mean to sound like I'm talking to you like you're stupid. Not everybody knows everything about pop culture. I don't for sure. Bad Robot also hands in the Transformers and Mission Impossible movies. Yeah, Akiva Goldsmith did that brilliant Transformers last night, the night before last, or whatever it was, Matt guy. Bumblebee looks pretty good though. I could be fooled by the very sappy trailers, but it looks pretty good. Hype, Jibba Jabba FPV. Picard will be apologizing for everything done by white male and white male Trek captains. You were not far from. I'm not going to say, well, because there was a lot of Trek captains. I'm going to say male Trek captains. I think there will be somewhat of a reckoning because they feel like they need to do that. And this weird thing that's going on of judging history on current year ideals. That's really weird. It's also a way to discredit history so we don't talk about it anymore. There's something way bigger and sinister behind that I will talk about on the Exozone. Because those who, doesn't the quote go something like, those who do not learn from history are failed to or doomed to repeat it, or some shit like that. Kiva makes me want to die. Please don't die, Endless Echo. The world is a better place with you in it. Now Akiva's writing hurts my brain. It does. He directed the last episode of Titans, and he's not very good at that either. I do not understand why they involved him in any DC product at all. I don't think Thanos is the main villain in Avengers 4, says Dark Angel R. I do not either. I do not either. I just use that as an example. I don't. Do you think they're going to bring in? Who do you think they're going to bring in? I heard Kang the Conqueror. It is way late in the game to bring him in and have him. It would be dumb to bring in a villain unless like that villain was working with Thanos in some way to have like a Deus Ex Machina. I know that's a bad example. Like a villain come out of left field would be silly. But I heard there's some kind of twist with the scrolls from Captain Marvel that I won't ruin here. That I kind of liked. How come they didn't show any scrolls in the Captain Marvel trailer? By the way, you want to endear yourself to Marvel fans. Show scrolls. Anything from current CBS people in control of Trek will suck. Shun it. Looking forward to your review, Gary. T. Stoney, thank you very much. And yes, absolutely. With Doctor Who, with Star Trek, we got to stop buying this stuff. If we're truly upset about it, which some of us are, I don't want to speak for everybody here, but if you're pissed off about stuff, you need to stop buying it. Now, there's ways to get stuff secondhand without directly giving the BBC money and stuff. I know a lot of you have BritBox. And, hey, like there's a lot of good stuff on BritBox. The BBC has produced a lot of good stuff. That's why we're pissed. Brett Newman, you're 45. Well, you're younger than me anyway. The Batman says, I loved reading Supergirl comics back when I was a kid. At Chris Persia, the character in the CW shows is nothing like her. She's not a hero. She's a spoiled little girl. And Melissa Boyce can't act. That's Melissa. I can't. Boyce is yeah. She's not Supergirl, and the ones that they wrote in a comic, she actually has a personality. There's years and years of personality that they completely ignored. They could even though it wasn't Kara, they could draw on some other runs too, like the Peter David run of Supergirl was particularly good. I would have drawn heavily on that. And they do throw some stuff in. They do. It's just the way that show's written, the dialogue. People don't talk like that. It's funny how these companies keep fighting over supposedly dead franchises like Star Trek, says Fred Laggett. Yeah. Well, they're making them dead. That's the whole thing is like there's this assumption out there, and you would rightly think so, that Star Trek and Star Wars and Marvel Comics and all these things will last forever. No, they won't. They're doing good now, but they could die and never come back, or come back a shadow of them former selves. I mean, just go, pop culture is still relatively young. Okay. But look back, the only things that have lasted through the years are Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who. There's a couple more, but those are the mighty ones, and they have all fallen, in my opinion. They have knocked them all down. What else do we have? I wasn't alive, but Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers were pretty popular back in the 30s and 40s. Pretty damn with Zorro, stuff like that. And it's still around in some way or another, but it's nowhere near at the popularity that it used to be. It just got old. And that's what's going to happen with this stuff too. Like Star Wars has had a couple of big waves, but I remember when nobody gave a shit about Star Wars. Like nobody gave a crap. Right after it initially ran and it was done, in 1985, we had another toy line, and then it was out. People thought about it a little bit. They rented it on video, but it was like, as far as pop culture was concerned, it was not talked about that much at all. It was talked about as a classic, but people weren't looking at it the way they do now. Okay. So then the Timothy Zahn books came out, and there was some games. I wasn't involved in the games, but I remember the Timothy Zahn book coming out and that being a big deal, and going, whoa, a Star Wars book, and it's afterwards, and that's cool as hell. And and it was a very slow rollout. Some comics came out, and then the 20th anniversary happened in 1997, and that's what really launched Star Wars to the stratosphere. It wasn't even its initial release. That was good, but that time ran out on that. It was the 20-year anniversary, and when Lucas rolled out with the special editions, and those were #1 movies. They made sick money for that. I think one did $40 million opening weekend. That's 1990s money for a movie that had been out 20 years, that everybody and his mother and his father had seen. Did a $40 million weekend. I remember Howard Stern complaining when Empire came out during the same weekend as Private Parts, and he was pissed and he was talking tons of shit about Star Wars because it crushed his fucking movie, which I like, by the way. But yeah, that was 1997 that brought it all back, and then the Power of the Force came in, and it kind of went on from there. Then that's what, and this was all part of Lucas's plan, and it was well thought out. Then the prequels happened, and then the Attack of the Clones got beat by Spider-Man 2 at the box office like a drum. Was it? No, it was the Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man. Sorry, no, it wasn't the first Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man 2. One of the Spider-Mans, God, my so when did Attack of the Clones came out in 2004, right? 2003? And that's when Spider-Man 2 came out. So, yes, so Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Man 2 was a better movie. Yeah, that's it. So Star Wars has gone through waves. It's really popular now. I don't think I think it's had its time. I think maybe the most popular I've ever seen Star Wars was right up until The Force Awakens. And yeah, I think its time has come. I think we've lost it. They had one chance, and they blew it as hard as you can blow it. Like as hard as something gets blown down on the tenderloin for $2. That's how far they blew it. Star Trek is salvageable. There's a lot of Star Trek. See, the problem with Star Wars is there's 9 movies. No, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, forget about those Star Wars stories. There's a dozen movies. With Star Trek, there's 50 years, multiple series, hundreds of episodes. So one season of something, while it did a lot of damage, we could recover from that, maybe. Doctor Who, season 11, even season 12, we can recover from that. They bring in another doctor, and I don't think they're going to, though. I'll tell you right now. I'll just tell you right now. I talked about this in my video. Here is what I think. This is not a rumor. This is speculation on my part, and I will get back to the chat. What they are going to do with Doctor Who. We're going to get a season 12. I think initially they were going to split it, and they decided to do it all the way through. Here's why. I think there is a possibility they could end it. They will come out and say, this was our plan all along. We had a plan, and they could make up whatever. They can call it, they could say they still stuck to their 5-year plan, because if you go to where they actually started searching for Jodie, and when the last episode airs, that'll probably be pretty close to 5 years. So you can weave that bullshit in there and say, hey, this is all part of our plan. We wanted to end it, because I did read a couple articles saying Doctor Who has 5 years left, and that's it. They're gonna go 5 years, and they're gonna end it. Now, you read a ton of articles on Doctor Who, and so many of them, like that guy pointed on the video, are complete bullshit. But you could sniff the bullshit out pretty easy. It's the rumors about shows being delayed, people leaving, tend to be true 100% of the time, because people always eventually leave. But as he points out in his video, Samuel, the BBC is like a sieve. Their rumors get out all the time. And I may or may not have a source now. When you do videos on this stuff and people start watching them, sometimes people email you and offer you things, and you listen. So I think Doctor Who will end possibly after season 12, and they'll say this was the plan all along, and we wanted to end it on the female doctor. That way you don't cancel the series with the female doctor, which would look really bad. And Jodie gets her 2 years in, her 2 seasons in, and that's respectable. And maybe but Chibnall's going to be involved, folks. So I think I don't think anybody's going to watch it. I got way behind on chat, folks. I'll get caught up. Sorry. I'll quit blabbing. Pixel Quadrant for £2. Picard show will be about him destroying the Borg. That would be awesome. I would be totally down with that, except Alex Kurtzman messing with a 25% different Borg. But if they get into the whole Locutus thing and how that's still fucking with his mind a little bit, oh yeah. Listen, with the Picard series, I am hoping for the best and expecting the worst. Akiva Goldsman is in the writing room. It is produced by Alex Kurtzman. There is a very, very small chance we're going to get anything watchable. The only thing that might help this, you know what? It might be like Capaldi's run on Doctor Who, where you have this brilliant actor carry a TV show, making it watchable. But when you go back and rewatch the episodes, you're like, he was the only good thing in this thing. Like he was surrounded by, like Capaldi was, just an acting genius surrounded by novices. Yeah. Michael Grade couldn't kill Doctor Who. These wankers can't either. Odd job. Damn straight. Oh, really? Hello, 899? Holy crap. Yeah, we've been it's been going crazy. Okay, so also my patrons voted on something and I do need to address it. So and I'll get back to the start doctor's shit. So our channel name is going to change to what it was originally supposed to be. It's not going to be a big change. I know change is scary. It's not really scary. You guys are fucking fine. We're just going to call it Nerdrotic. We're going to drop the channel part. So, but I was going to do it. And then I'm like, I'm really kind of superstitious. And I'm like, we're kind of rolling right now. And I think changing something right now would just be a really bad idea. So I'm going to do it. I will do it. And thank you, because the patrons voted overwhelmingly, because I asked them, I'm like, should we do Nerdrotic or Nerdrotic channel? They said Nerdrotic. So that's what we're going to do eventually. Okay. Tharies. Am I saying that right? Tharies, like Varys from Game of Thrones. Did you check out the channel? Tharies, excuse me. What channel? The one you asked me to check out? I checked out a lot of channels, Tharies. Which one was it? And I will tell you whether I checked it out or not. And thank you for the £2. And sorry if I missed it. I have it in my notes. Somewhere in my notes. I'll find it. Hey, respond to that, Tharies. Tell me what channel. Sorry about that. I apologize. And thank you for the super chat. I have to read. Somebody sent me. I've gotten a couple scripts sent to me, and we're like, you guys are sending me. This is cool. Was no way prepared for this. And again, we're still a small channel. I don't know how people with hundreds of thousands of subs fucking do it at all. You have to hire a staff at some point. I am a Nerdrotic #1 son. My oldest son is going to be helping me. So answer some stuff. So you may be hearing from him. His name is Indigo. He's a good kid. He's very tall. He's 6'5". And he's my boy. So 25% different, Gary. Yeah, right. So here I'm looking for Tharies. Tharies, tell me which channel. Oh, that's right. There's a 30-second delay on this thing. I forgot. Aki Ross, how's it going? Sir Pat might not even be in it so much. Could just top and tail each episode, then flashback to First Command with like a younger actor. I think that is a possibility, Aki. Am I saying your name right? Is it Aki? Aki? Is there like an accent on it or something like that? Sound Mixer. They're bringing back the Daleks in the New Year's Eve episode. Is that confirmed? I did hear that. Sound Mixer. I did hear that. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Sorry about that. Alex to return. And here's the problem with that, guys. this New Year's Eve episode was thrown together in I thought that I always assumed that because it would just make more sense. While you're filming the season, you just film your Christmas special or your New Year's special while you got everybody there. Guess that's not how they do it. The Daily Mail says that is indeed the case. Who confirmed it though? Okay, let's go. Let's go to that real quick. My question. Oh, things are getting a little choppy, folks. I see choppiness. Do you guys see choppiness? I see choppiness. We must get rid of some windows. See major choppiness. Okay. So here we go. Thanks for pointing that out. By the way, I had heard that too. Doctor Who's iconic villains, the Daleks, will return in the New Year's Eve special. After showrunner Chris Chibnall said there would be no old monsters this season. Well, technically, it's not the season; it's a New Year's Eve special. Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall had previously revealed that he would not be bringing back the sci-fi show's old monsters during Jodie Whittaker's first season. But the Mirror revealed, because the Mirror is rock solid, folks, so I'm going to say this is rumor, on Friday that the Time Lord will come face-to-face with the Daleks during the show's New Year's special. The genetically engineered race of mutants are one of Doctor Who's most iconic villains and have appeared on the show in every, well, no, well, of the current series, yes, and every season of the current series. I was going to go, no, of the current one, yes. But hey, Lucy Jones said they were silly, but she's a Whovian, but the Daleks are silly. Sorry, Lucy, I'm not going to let you forget that. In the one-off episode, well, they've all been that, which will be the only outing for the show in 2019 as the crew film a new season for release in early 2020. The Daleks will also have a new look. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, there's another video right there. Man, is this show just trying to be exactly like Star Trek Discovery? During an appearance at San Diego Comic-Con in July, Chris revealed that the series would feature 10 standalone stories and lots of new villains who would be facing the Doctor and her companions. Yes, all those blokes were terrible villains. They weren't all white, though. He explained, I think our job is to ask, where does the show go next? No, your job is to make a good show, not where it goes next. But less old stuff returning and more new treats. Well, treats. Oh my God, is there a naked girl on the right there? Sorry about that. Fucking. Oh, is she in a bikini? I like, what the hell? Sorry for the butt there, folks. But he did quickly reassure you fucking Brits, man. But he did quickly reassure fans that the possibility of any iconic monsters like the Cybermen or Weeping Angels, and said, I haven't started to think about that. Maybe there's always things. I'm glad he hasn't started to think about stuff. I mean, he doesn't want to get too far ahead of himself, like writing a TV show or anything. I mean, that's a long list there, isn't it? He said two things. It's not a long list. What the hell? I haven't thought about it at the moment, but I'll never rule it out. There's many great treats, many great things in the back catalog. So basically said, I'm going to acknowledge that you brought it up, but no. While in the interview with the Radio Times in September, Chris added, I don't know how many times I need to say there is no old monsters in the series, okay? So I miss in the 11th season, Time Lord has been put to the test by an array of villains like I love this. Okay, in the 11th season, Jodie's Time Lord has been put to the test by an array of villains like the Stenza and Morax. So the Mud and the Spiders. Well, the Spiders weren't villains, everybody. The Spiders were only villains because man fucked with them. Okay. Chris is the scriptwriter for the episode, while it is directed by Wayne Yip, who previously worked on season 10's Empress of Mars and the Lie of the Land. Oh, yes, classic episodes. Empress of Mars. Uh, mm, was it the worst Moffat episode? It would no, it's not as bad as Kill the Moon, but Empress of Mars is right there. It was bad. It was bad, 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 bad. Okay, so I don't know. I still don't know if they're going to come back. He keeps on saying they're not going to come back. Stephanie Littlepage, $5. Yo, Gary, I just saw the new Aquaman trailer and it's awesome. Jason Momoa is great, and Dolph Lundgren still makes me drool. A friend of mine has seen the movie. He is a ginormous DC comic fan, and his words were, "The DCEU is saved," but DC fans tend to say that a lot. I hope so. I really hope. I can't wait to see it. I love me a good comic book movie. I do. That's kind of one of my favorite things. And it's the last things that haven't been screwed with. Here's my only problem with it, Stephanie Littlepage. It looks like looks like Aquaman's kind of a side character, and if he's treated like a guy in a Geico commercial, like a complete idiot throughout the entire movie, that will annoy the shit out of me. Arthur Curry, Aquaman, is a fracking king, eventually going to be a king. So he's not like, dude, awesome, badass. It's like, I like Jason Momoa. I actually think he was perfect for Conan. I wish they would put him back into a Conan movie and give him good writing, because he is fucking Conan. I really wish they would do that someday. But yes, Ian Batchelor said Aquaman was good. Yes, I've heard many, many good things. I heard Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. My good friend said it was the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I don't think I'll be able to say that, just because, Spider-Man's Peter Parker. Miles Morales is a good alternate reality Spider-Man who would be, if they gave him a different name, I think would be a good sidekick to Spider-Man. People know my feelings on that. And that movie looks pretty fun, though. What's funny is Nerdrotic Jr. is like down on it. Nerdrotic Jr. watched a Midnight's Edge video and now is convinced that Sony is trying to circumvent the MCU, trying to destroy the MCU, and now Nerdrotic Jr. hates Sony. And not from watching one of my videos. Little shit. Momoa for Lobo. Who was it? Caleb Richardson. It was Ethan Van Sciver was talking about, he was pitched before he left DC, he was pitched an Aquaman series. And he was told by DC that we're going to make Aquaman more like Lobo, so it will be in line more with the movies. So you're kind of getting a version, a Lobo-ish version of Aquaman, which is the oddest pairing I could possibly think of. It's like mixing Howard the Duck with Silver Surfer. Yeah. Darth Solo, he's not toxic enough to be Conan. Hey, Darth Solo, they were going to do a Conan series on Amazon. I was stoked. I could not freaking wait, and they axed it. I'll ask you, and they gave no reasons. Why do you think they axed the Conan series? Is it possibly because Conan is a brutal barbarian set in ancient times where slavery was a thing, sex slavery, and masculinity kind of ruled the day? Do you think that's why they canceled it? Because that's why I think they canceled it. I think they saw that show as problematic in way too many ways. Jason Momoa is the most successful actor to come out of the entirety of the Stargate franchise. Didn't see that coming. Ken Lynch. Yeah. Well, as Khal Drogo, he was amazing. He was awesome. You couldn't tell because it was in Dothraki. His speech after Daenerys ate the heart of going out and riding the white stallion and stuff like that. That was good. And then and I thought he would be a great Conan. I still think he'd be a good Conan. Give him another chance. That's it. No, I think but they're going to go ahead with Red Sonja, I believe. But a Conan series would just be popular as hell and people would watch it. People don't trip on that stuff. People are normal. People can tell that, hey, that was 1,000 years ago and this is a fantasy. And yeah. But I think with all the stuff that's been going on in Hollywood, they're now second guessing themselves. And that's what's happening to our creativity. I think people are afraid to write stuff and afraid to do stuff. And that is the one thing I am a proponent of is art must be completely unrestrained. Absolutely. And you know what? If you come out with something offensive and shitty, then you criticize it. And through criticizing it, it gets shamed into not coming back. That's how the world works. So now that we have people checking themselves in the writing, and it is a thing, that's an absolute thing now. I mean, we all suspected it, but I've gotten like absolute word from a couple writers that it's not fun anymore. Was the quote I got. And there's a lot of thought. There's a lot of people who want to just go out on their own now, and they don't want to work for Hollywood, and they're just going to do their own stuff. And I think there's going to be a huge resurgence in independent creator work. And I think in the next decade or so, we'll see something kind of like the 90s was for independent film. We'll see it probably on like YouTube or TV or something like that. You're going to see a lot of creator owned stuff that's going to be really fun and unrestrained and really, I always talk about moving stuff forward and pushing boundaries, not politically, story wise, entertainment wise. I think we'll see a lot of that. God, we need something like that so bad. Just like music has needed another Beatles for like 20 years. We're never going to get it, but it just has. Afraid of the new stuff, just recycling. #Hollywood. You're right, Natasha. That's it. You know what sucks, and it's their own that's turned on them. It's like they're self-policing, and it's like being in I don't know 1984. It's like you're gonna get reported on by your best friend if you don't say the right things and do the right things and write the right things. Your career could be over. But we're seeing more and more people say fuck that shit, and that is good. That is a good thing. But you can't. I don't blame anybody for they don't want to throw. You've worked your entire life to get to Hollywood. Just play the game for a little while, and hopefully it passes, and you can go back to having fun. Aquaman is a leader and great. Halam 899. He is. My favorite Aquaman run, of course, is the Peter David run. I think that's. But I also liked. Was it how long ago? Was it when it was Sub Diego? San Diego was underwater, and he was in Sub Diego, which was I just love that. For one, because that's my hometown. San Diego has the biggest little city complex ever. We have anybody from San Diego, we have it's an entire city of little brother, little sister complex because we're overshadowed by LA, and we're always like, we're our own city, we're not LA, meh. And then we lose our sports teams to LA all the time. And San Francisco thinks they hate LA. San Diego hates LA so much more than San Francisco. Problem is San Diego is just filled with a bunch of very comfortable people, we'll just say. A good friend of mine described it as land of the lotus eaters. That is San Diego. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It can lure you in to kind of sit around and do nothing and be complacent. At least that's what happened to me. That's why I bailed. Canoeing. I think Momoa would make a perfect Lobo. Like any other actor to get for Lobo, you'd have to work out. Like Momoa's there as a big boy. Dolph Lundgren was on the talk show today promoting both Aquaman and Creed 2, and he still looks hot after all these years, says Stephanie Littlepage. Freaking love Dolph Lundgren. Love Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, the guy looks good, and he's in his 60s, and he looks freaking brilliant, and not all like plastic surgery out. I'm sure he's had some work. Uh, Good news, Miles is a sidekick of Peter Parker in Spider-Man PS4. That's what I've always wanted. I'm a Spider-Man purist. I hate him being a member of the Avengers. I hate there being multiple Spider-Mans. I don't mind a multiverse if you're playing with it once in a while. I do like Spider-Man Noir. Shattered Dimensions, great comic book. A great comic book, great video game. Um, and yeah, but I just really like Spider-Man being on his own. He's too goddamn broke and busy to be part of a team. That's not part of the Spider-Man dynamic. But if you're going to bring in Miles Morales, the way they brought him in the Ultimate Universe was beautiful. I thought it was really well done. I like him as a character. They kind of haven't done much with him lately. And because the writers are afraid to write with any kind of stakes or flaws for the reasons I just stated. And I think having a sidekick, having somebody Peter has to mentor at some point would add a great new dynamic to his character that you can go 20 years, 30 years on. Easy. And then you don't have to have him and Mary Jane, if they get back together, having a kid. He's got a kid to take care of. And like he's really bad at it, but he gets better. My only concern is Spider-Man's Peter Parker's not a loser. So that's another. But I heard the movie's really well done. So we'll wait till we see it. How would I rank the Waters of Mars episode? Says Cito Jonathan. That's one of the best episodes. It's in my top 10. It's in my top 10. I think it's definitely one. It's Russell T. Davies wrote that one. That was, I think, one of his best written episodes. I loved that episode. The Doctor showed so many flaws, melts down at the end, and you see the Doctor's flaws. Something Jodie could never ever do. The Doctor made the mistake of falling in love with a companion. The Doctor was still reeling from the Time War. The Doctor has lost everybody. He lost more companions, and he had reached the end of his rope. He was done. He got more human than he'd ever been. This god had been reduced to being a human, a lowly human, and having emotions, and straight up turned into a psychopath. And what that guy talked about in my last video, that's what the Doctor is. The Doctor is a very controlled psychopath using his powers for good. That has to be the common theme between every Doctor, and has been the common theme between every Doctor. Because the Doctor is above humans. Absolutely is above humans, and tries to play down to humans, and it isn't always good at it. Yes, I like Waters of Mars. God, I want to watch that episode now. They'll probably go after Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Lobo. I wouldn't hate that, Captain Robert April. I wouldn't hate that at all. I am a Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan. I thought he was great as the comedian. I know people don't like Watchmen. I do. Jason Momoa is the 4-hour version too. I like the big, long, and me and Derek Robertson watched that, and we had a good time just marveling at that thing. And it was fun watching it with a comic artist. Jason Momoa is the most. Oh yeah, I've already read that. Come on, Gary. Jesus Christ. And Conan was a slave. You're right. You're right. I'm just pointing out, Nathan, that there's okay. There's a lot of what rhymes with the word tape happening in Conan. And that's something that they're really, they being Hollywood and the BBC, are probably never going to show again. Ever. As far as yeah, they're never going to show that in drama again unless it's for some very serious drama. But I don't think you're going to see that in fantasy, which is part of the world of Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones got so much shit after season 5. The Mary Sue said they were never going to talk about the show again. It got a bunch of clapback, and all of a sudden George R. R. Martin's book is delayed, and then the Game of Thrones changed after that. It got a lot of criticism from that, which it was simply a story. And they didn't show anything, which made it worse, actually, by not showing anything. Yes, it actually makes you worse because it leaves it to your imagination. And now they don't want to write that in anything. And I'm not saying I'm a proponent of that. That's ridiculous. But, it's sometimes it's called fridging. Gail Simone called the phrase fridging. For one, it happens to men too. Outlander. And yeah, so but that's something they're just not going to show anymore. They're just not going to go there. Guess what? You just restricted art. Where does that end? Okay, sure. There's a great argument that can be made against that being portrayed in film anymore, and I'm willing to listen to it. But that's just the first step. And then they took out cigarette smoking. So that's why I freaking loved Maniac, because everybody was smoking a cigarette in there, and I was like, good, bring that back. Not that I am a proponent of smoking, but the fact that everybody gave up on it, and Joe Quesada took it out of comics, and one of your biggest characters smokes a cigar. They wanted to do Constantine without smoking a cigarette. Well, you might as well do Thor without his hammer. Oh, they're doing that right now, aren't they? They can't remove reality from fantasy. But they're doing it, Nathan, and it sucks. Give the Conan role to the bastard child of the of the maid and Arnold. He looks like Arnold. Yeah, there is absolutely no question whatsoever. Who's your daddy and what does he do? uh Red Sonja is SJW Conan. Red Sonja was a good comic. It was. I liked it. Yeah, do not wreck Red Sonja. Do not fuck with it. If you come out with a straight version of Red Sonja like they did it in the comics and in the books, then we're good. I'm solid. Peter Dinklage for Conan sequel tells you. If I was a director, Chris Persia, or a caster, I would cast. There's certain actors I would cast in everything I do. I would find a role for them, and Peter Dinklage is one of those people. I love Peter Dinklage. My favorite Game of Thrones character is Tyrion. Mr. Twisted 72, the thought police are invading everything. And it's like I said before, if it was once in a while with this shit, I wouldn't be saying a word. I don't care. I honestly don't care. Like you throw something, like if what Lois said in Elseworlds was said once and it just never was brought up again for like 2 years, I wouldn't think twice about it. But it's stuff like that that's put in like 3 or 4 times an episode now. And it's like, come on, people. And it takes you out of the story. And CW shows are written so tongue in cheek now. Anyway, there's a limit to where you can go with the tongue in cheek with superheroes. There's a fine line, and it's hard to find. Talented people need to find that, but you can still be campy, fun, and thrilling. My best example are Farscape is a show that does that to perfection, and Doctor Who series 1 through 4 does it to perfection, which is a perfect mix of being serious, being dramatic, but being campy enough and thrilling enough, throwing everything in. Doctor Who is not just a sci-fi show. Doctor Who is a sci-fi fantasy horror. You can mix any genre in. And it works. That's why we like Doctor Who, because we like it. It deals with multiple things. Christ, they had a superhero in Doctor Who, and I didn't hate that Christmas special. What did Lois say? Lois said to Clark that she earns 20 cents an hour less than Clark, even though she's a better reporter. And I just find and the line was, it meant nothing. They were at the farm outside of Smallville, and the girl playing Lois Lane, who like, I like how she kind of looks like Margot Kidder. I do like the casting with that. She doesn't act like Margot Kidder, but she kind of looks like Margot Kidder. She looks like a mix of Margot Kidder and, oh god, the Lois Lane from Smallville. That's like really, as far as looking, like the casting was spot on. But they were talking about coming back from Argo, and she is now Clark was overpraising her, as people tend to do in CW. They overpraise everybody. Everybody's awesome and great and wonderful, and it's this new trait of writing. It's ripped straight from YA fan fiction. Yes, fan fiction has influenced our writing, folks. Great. Yes, the inmates are running the asylum. So, and yeah, he was talking about her being a badass reporter and how wonderful it is. And she goes, "Yet I make 20 cents an hour less than you do." Okay. Uh, Gary, I get the art argument, but sometimes Hollywood takes it too damn far. Westworld was a sci-fi show. It violent, meaningless sex tossed into, because I would argue it added nothing. Um, it was the reason I think it Destiny Captain, I'll slightly disagree with you on season one. Season one was meant to show how decadent that place was. That was the whole point of it, was like, this place, you have no consequences here, so you can literally go and just do the darkest shit in the world. And um and it was looked at as very bad because of course the robots were becoming sentient. Problem is, uh it probably what they didn't get into is show the other side of that on society. Like, if people can work out some of their dark stuff, sometimes it helps. Now, it usually perpetuates it, though, as with the Man in Black, and that's what they showed. And then they fucked his story in season two so much. Like, I don't know if they can recover it, but I dare say that it was supposed to be that way. It was supposed to be in your face and decadent, and a bit too much. I found it refreshing when I saw it. It has been so long since because like HBO, that's what people went to HBO, because like there was naked people, and I was like, wow, they're putting naked people back. But then I realized it was made like 3 years ago, and we got the big difference. Was it over the top? The violence was, yes, but they should be allowed to do that. I can choose not to watch it. The violence in Titans is over the top, like really unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. It's like, there's no way. My kid who's 13, he ain't watching Titans. Hell no. This might sound weird, but I'd rather have my kid watch something sexual than something over violent. That's my personal choice as a parent. If I have a choice, if somebody puts a gun to my head, well, it's like, okay, you can see the sex. Robin stabbing somebody in the Johnson with a pair of scissors, it was just not necessary, but they're allowed to do it. But the thing is, Westworld is meant to be viewed by adults. Teen Titans is meant to be viewed by teenagers and up. 14, they're using the 18 to 49 demo, but I would argue that Teen Titans should be like a 14 to 34 demo first. But I get your meaning, Destiny Captain. Um, um, Marion Gersa, I don't understand. Can a woman accept a compliment? Honest remark? Absolutely. I didn't say the over validating that goes on the CW is not directed towards just women. It's men and women. It's just over validating. It's bad writing. Of course, a woman can accept a compliment. And I know what you're meaning. I see. Yes, my bad, Marion. I'm an idiot. No, I get what you're saying now. Could she just say thank you, which she didn't say? She didn't say. She said nah, 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 nah. So yeah, I totally misinterpreted what you're saying. My bad. I apologize. Just say thank you. Thank you. especially for all that over validating. For one, I would go pump the brakes on that because that shit tends to go to people's head when you over validate and you it's like well, this is parenting 101. You don't overpraise your kid. Never overpraise your kid. I mean, we want to. We all feel the need to because, like, shit, my parents, like my dad, I think he complimented me twice. And once was right before he died. But it was okay. It was okay. It gave me, it taught me drive. It really did work out for the best. But yeah, don't overpraise your kid or your friends or your employees. That was something I was horrible at first. And what happens is, if it happened to me, I'd be the same way. I'm a human being. You overpraise something, it goes to people's fucking heads, and they start thinking, well, I could start making decisions around here, and da 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 da, and then it causes all kinds of drama at work. Believe me. So yeah, you save the praise for when it's worthy. And when you are praised, you say thank you. I mean, you think it was common sense, but no, in the CW world, you just clap somebody back with, well, I'm still victimized. Broly asked, Gary, did you like the Green Lantern movie? I didn't. I did. Don't hit me, people. No, I did not like the movie. I like some bits of it. Uh, yeah, yeah, that was Ryan Reynolds was woefully miscast. Green Lantern, like it or not, is more of a stoic character. The CG costume was a bad idea. And they got a good director, the guy who directed Casino Royale. They got a good director. Yeah, Sinestro was good in it. There was some good stuff in it that I wish they would have kept. But all I know is I took Nerdrotic Jr. to that, who used to get scared by nothing. But that, uh, oh my God. Oh wow, I'm blanking on the name. The cloud thing at the end. God damn it. Parallax at the end scared the shit out of him, man. I was like, whoa, sorry, kid. Narrative based media needs restraints, otherwise it turns into nonsense. Yep. Oh God, yes. And that's the whole thing is self-restraint. Self-restraint. I'm not saying um I don't want their rules in Hollywood being like you can't write this. I want to I ever want that. But it's really good for the individual writer to maybe hold back on some stuff once in a while. But that's up to that individual writer. And you know what? I will trust the adult, which more of us should try to do. I know it's hard, but especially I'm speaking to the powers that be. Trust that the adults will make the right decision. Most will. Um, Two robots having bloody sex on top of a safe. Okay, that scene was pointless. I will agree with you there. There was no reason for them to have sex, especially when he was literally cutting something out of her stomach, right? At that scene. It was bloody suicide sex too. When they could have just killed themselves or fought back. What I never got, Destiny Captain in Westworld, is okay, so they're just like humans, but then how come some of them are getting super strength, or sometimes they have super strength, or are they programmed to die when they get shot and they don't really die? They need to make some of that clear to me. Violence can be very over the top 6 scale combat. It depends on the show, it depends on the circumstance. I don't think Teen Titans is a place for it though. But that's me. That's me. The violence in Titans is also unheroic when Robert is torturing people for no reason. Oh my God, Cajun 451 agreed. And Jason Todd, I know Jason Todd's supposed to be a little off the rails and everything, but not like that. Not like that. Not so soon anyway. Let me rephrase that. Not so soon. Uh, not a John Stewart, not a Hal Jordan fan, more of a John Stewart fan, Mr. Twits 72. Um, I'm kind of a Jon Stewart fan myself. I like Jon Stewart. I like Guy Gardner too. I'm kind of a Guy Gardner fan. I didn't. Oh, it was Logan who I traumatized. Indigo. I traumatized him by show. He didn't get scared by much. When did he get scared? Um, no, he thought. Oh, low. Okay, Indigo would get mad, but I don't care. Like our downstairs basement, Indigo would not go down there till he was like 14. He would just not go down. It's creepy. It's properly creepy down there. It's like catacombs. It's pretty cool. I like it. That's why we bought the house. You have to kind of bend down, and there's like little tunnels and access ways. Um, and some weird stuff happens in our house, but our house is also built in 1910. I'll have to admit, though, that Ryan Reynolds was more tolerable on Green Lantern than as Deadpool, but I hate Deadpool. Also, Sinestro was the only reason I gave a damn. Willie Woodward, Sinestro was brilliant, and Mark Strong, yeah, it needs to be recast as that part. He was so fucking good. He was perfect. That was perfection. God, I thought the movie was going to be good. I thought we were off to the races, and the Nolan verse would have, yeah, it's kind of a major, Superman Returns sucked. I love Deadpool, and I did not like Deadpool as a character in the comics, but I like the movie. But that's okay. That's okay. Uh, but you know who we like? We like you, Willie Woodward. We like you. And Mr. Twisted, 72. And of course, OG Spock Love. Michael Caine had a point of why full frontal male nudity will never be a major thing. Once it appears on screen, it always all thoughts of plot and character go bye-bye. um, unless it's a 3D movie. No, I'm just kidding. I knew only Al Jordan from the movie Ladder, the CG series, and Red Lantern Razor. The Razor series was well written. Oh my God, Broly, it was so well written. Our friend Ethan Van Sciver, who has a channel out there, you may have heard of him. His Green Lantern art is some of the best comic art in history. Period. It is, and he was that was part of bringing DC back from the brink. Um, bringing Hal Jordan back when I'm not sure you needed to. Kyle Rayner was plenty popular, and I like Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. Green Lantern was the first superhero mantle to really successfully be passed down, and Hal Jordan wasn't the original one anyway. So, yeah, Kyle was good. Hello, 899. I grew to like Kyle. 1910. That's an old building. Oh my God. Okay, you people in the UK are laughing at me now. I know. In America, stuff built in 1910 is old. Especially in California, where we would knock down. Well, we've knocked down like beautiful. We dug up a mound, 1,000-year-old mound made out of shells to put in a mall fucking parking lot. That's what we do in America. If you don't know what mounds are, they're ancient mounds. They were burial mounds for a civilization that predates the Native Americans who weren't Native Americans. I'm sorry, don't get mad at me for that. But they rolled in like we do. They were just earlier. There was a Clovis culture. They're called the Clovis culture. They're thousands of years old. They're Ice Age culture. Yeah, there was a shell mound over there in Berkeley. Fucking knock that fucking thing down in 2 seconds for that parking lot. Yeah, so when I say 1910 is old, that's where you're coming from. That's old. My building was from 1677. Wait. That's only that's 99 years older than your effing country. LOL, right? Yes, it is. It is. We're more of a former Spanish colony over here, though. Believe it or not, San Diego is the oldest city in California. It was founded in 1574, 1594, in the 1500s. It was a mission. Which Marvel character will you cast as Mark Strong? Oh, I'll get back to you that on Halam 899. Oh, if he was younger, Namor. Absolutely, Prince Namor. That Godzilla trailer. I saw Godzilla. That looks fucking dope. Okay, we got 2 super chats here. Sorry, folks. Let's get to those super chats, and I'll get right back to the chat. Okay. Oh my God, we got a lot of super chats. Bad, Gary. Okay, I'm just gonna stare at this window now because I am a bad YouTuber. Hey, Tharies, did you get back to me on that? What's DM me on Twitter or send an email. Tharies, please send an email to nerdrotics@gmail.com. Stephanie Littlepage, did I read this one already? I'll read it again. Yo, Gary, I just saw the new Aquaman trailer. You did. I read that one. Thank you for the $5. El Rumblo for £5. I like poop. I like poop. Yes. I just made €5 to get to I just paid €5 to get you to say I like poop. Hey, you could have got that for $1. Oh, you can't put anything in for $1. That's funny. You can isolate that. There's a lot of shit I said in the last live stream. If you isolate it, it'd be pretty funny. The Batman for £5. Every actor to take the role convinced you he was the Doctor in the first few minutes. Jodie Whittaker has failed in an entire series. Yeah, she's not. Listen, fair or not, she had to be extraordinary, not just mediocre. And we didn't even get mediocre. Everything we got with Doctor Who, as I stated in my last video, turned out exactly like a lot of people said that, including myself, thought it would turn out. We thought it would be hyper political, meaningless plots, because they just followed the trend of what we've gotten before in pretty much, oh God, going back to Marvel Comics, going back to before that. They feel like if they do the surface level stuff, like change the sex of the Doctor, they don't really need to work much harder at that. They actually felt that they thought they were critic proof. Well, think again. James O'Neill for £5. Really loving Night Flyers. Episode 8 blew me away. Jim, I am liking Night Flyers as well. Agreed, Jim. Thank you. £5 from Jim O'Neill. I said James. My bad, Jim. Brent Newman for £2. When is our next Exozone, Gary? I'm glad you asked that question, Brent. The next Exozone will be this Saturday. This coming Saturday, I will be on Doomcock's channel. Time yet to be announced. My guess is probably 9 or 10 Central Standard Time, and that's in the States. So that's 9 or what's 9 Central. It's 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Pacific. And in the UK, that would be 4 in the morning, something like that. Sorry. Maybe we could start a little later, so it's like morning for you guys. Thank you so much for the £2. Brent Newman for £5. True story. Oliver Reed did a movie with a naked wrestling scene, tugged on the wing to make it look bigger before filming. Respect him. Respect Oliver. He twisted the muse, as we like to say here at Nerdrotic Channel. He twisted the muse. All right, thank you for the super chats, everybody. Sorry I didn't get caught up on those. He tugged on his wing. He tugged on his old twig and berries, did he? Oh, man. Dennis Leary for Guy Gardner. Oh, if he was younger, it'd be great. That would be magnificent. Absolutely, Meg. I like Kyle Rayner the most of all the Green Lanterns. He managed to make me interested in Green Lanterns. No other Green Lantern did that. The thing is, they gave him a good long chance. Kyle Rayner is a good example of doing something drastic with a well-established character, sticking with it and making it good. Doctor Who could really learn something from that. Like, they set out to change this character. What you do is the character you change from, they had him. Now, this was passing down in mantle. You're not like literally making him Hal Jordan. That's the big difference. But there was still a way to do it. Like, I still argue that, Jodie Whittaker should have been just a complete other Time Lord, Romana, something or other, and just go that route. And, give Give Doctor Who a break. I made my prediction earlier that Doctor Who will be canceled. They will not announce the show will be canceled. I don't think they'll ever announce it will be canceled. I think they will say it's on a long hiatus and bring it back in 5 years or so. That's becoming the new thing. That's why it was so unusual for Daredevil to get outright canceled by Netflix, because somebody, I can't remember who, brought up a really good point that they don't really announce a show being canceled. They just it doesn't show up on the list. We didn't fire him, we just stopped paying him. It's all semantics. Uh, don't you know? Don't you just knock down 50 buildings that are 15-year-olds just because? Yes, Marianne, we do. Building old, knock it down. And the crappy thing is, San Francisco is the one city where a bunch of old buildings are still standing, because a lot of them are historic. People gave a shit here. And honestly, it's such a pain in the ass to build something new because everything's all on top of each other. This city was put together very happenstance. They would never build it like this again. There's places like I don't think they would be allowed to. I mean, like there's houses, there's entire tract homes, which is like the same type of house on the side of a cliff. And then there's a driveway that goes up on like this weird 90-degree angle, and I have to put my car in I have 4-wheel drive to go up some hills in this place. I don't know how some people do it. It's weird. It's very rocky and hilly here, and the houses are weird, and they're like nothing else in California. San Francisco doesn't look like any other city in California. It looks like an East Coast town, or a little European, a little, but mostly like an East Coast town. It's a fun city, though. I mean, it's weird politics. It's got a horrible homeless problem, horrible drug problem, drugs freaking everywhere. They are very easy to find here. They are no trouble to find. If you want to pick up a drug habit, all you have to do is walk down to a corner of 6th Street and you can get whatever you want out in the open. People just say it out loud. They don't care because the cops don't do anything here. Why don't you post the link? Tharis, why don't you find our Facebook? I don't know. Yeah, just give me a link on YouTube and then I can post the link. Only I can post the link and our mods can post links here in the chat. We're the only ones allowed to post links. But if you DM me on Twitter right now, I'll post it. Okay, cool. I got you now. I'm catching up, Tharis. I'm catching up. Give me just a sec. I'm finally catching up on the website, folks. They reformatted my website, and I didn't know how to use it for a couple days, and I had to figure it out. Joel Tamburo, thank you for the $5. Remember that the Doctor Who UK ratings only improved to Series 8 levels, and that was with a change in night to one of the with less competition, because I can read. Joel, thank you for pointing that out. That is a great point. Thank you for the super chat. So hers was the highest viewed Doctor Who episode ever. That was after they cheated the ratings, and I don't believe them. I'm going to straight out say it. I don't believe it, because at first it was slightly lower, and then they found 500 or 400,000 viewers 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later. So that was bullshit. Fine. If they feel the need to do that. See, the problem is I get shit for calling this bullshit out, going, you have no data. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Please. Why would they do that? Why would they say Jodie Whittaker was the most they're trying to do everything to make it look good because they know their finished product is not. And this is they're trying to defend, they're trying to sell you something. Will a company fudge numbers to sell you something every time? Every single time. They've been caught before. They've done it before. The numbers are all arbitrary anyway. So it doesn't, So great. You got the most viewed episode. It was also on a Sunday night on BBC One when Doctor Who Christopher Eccleston aired. It was on BBC what 3, 4, 2. I can't remember. It wasn't on BBC One. But that doesn't matter. The thing that matters to me is like a company. I expect a company to try to make their thing look the best they can, and I expect them to not tell me the truth. I don't take anything a company says at face value. It's when reporters and media, who are technically, well, they're at a job to make money, but part of the whole reporter gig is to be out there for, for truth, for the people. I know that's silly, old-fashioned, idealistic bullshit that we are way past with the media. But yeah, you're supposed to kind of be out there for us. That's why we get mad. We get mad when you shovel when somebody goes, man, this was just the best season ever. Daleks were getting old and stupid and silly anyway. And people are piling on Stephen Moffat now, who were praising him a year ago. And you can just see through it. You can see through the fact that, I get all my Doctor Who episodes early and I could tweet about it early for that. And they sell out for that. It's not like they're not even selling out for money. Like I would respect them selling out for money, but just to get like a gift basket or to get a DVD screener. No. So that's, and spin. I just don't like spin of any kind from any side, anywhere. Man, that's probably the old man to me though. I don't like bullshit. God, I have to deal with so much of it in real life anyway. So just like you guys do. Officially, it was just on a long hiatus after Sylvester McCoy era. They just couldn't find anyone to take the gig. Captain Robert April, you're exactly right. I'm surprised it took that long for Doctor Who to come back, to be honest with you. Do you think it was the American thing? Do you think that kind of ruined it for a while? Go back and watch that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. For a 90s show, it wasn't bad. I enjoy it. The powers that be do not invest in character development. I've already read that, but we'll read it again. You're right. Thank you, Penn Farm Girl, for putting the schedule up. What I have to put on the schedule is on our Patreon. We're going to be doing a counterpart watch party on Sunday. That'll be fun. And we're going to do the first 2 episodes. I figured that would be better to talk about. Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen forever. Nordy, EQNEL. Absolutely. Sarah Jane's my favorite companion. Sarah Jane. And he dumped her in Aberdeen. We have an Aberdeen here in the States. It's in South Dakota. It's Aberdeen, South Dakota. My dad grew up 50 miles outside of Aberdeen, South Dakota, but we call it Aberdeen, not Aberdeen. I do like how you guys say aluminium, though. I've adopted that. The only reason we are still talking about Doctor Who 50 years later is tanks to the Daleks. Kiss my TARDIS. Damn right. Yes. There was a time when the Daleks were like insanely popular and they did movies and I liked them. They were kind of funny. Peter Cushing was awesome as that weird doctor. And yes, and the Cybermen and male Doctor Who fans. Let's not forget. I'm not gonna I don't put a color on it. I think a lot of male fans. And what was great is when the show got relaunched, it got a ton of female fans. A ton. It was wonderful. But now, yeah. As far as the first season numbers, I talked about it earlier. Star Trek: The Next Generation. The first season sucked. It got great ratings, but that got better. The Force Awakens, record-breaking film. I would say half the people now don't like it. When it came out, most everybody liked it. I did not. Last Jedi had brought a lot of people out of the closet on realizing that that movie was just not good. It still did well. A lot of things do well that aren't good. Um, and they still get canceled. They get canceled for whatever reason. They also do a lot of research and take a lot of time, they being the powers that be, and see what the real story is. So they really know what people really think of their show. And I think that really went into the delay because I think they have to retool a bunch of stuff. I think it really went into them delaying the episode to New Year's Day, which I've talked about a lot. Successful things don't take a year off unless you're Game of Thrones and you're running towards the end. So that is the biggest evidence to me that they're going to not pick up the series or not continue it for a while afterwards. The few shows that have gotten delayed, American Gods got delayed. I predict it will get canceled after season 2. Ash versus Evil Dead, which is a show that was lots of word of mouth, was doing pretty good, got canceled after a year delay. Mr. Robot, they have decided to do a year delay and just end it because it probably would have got canceled. So they offered them an ending after a year delay. Westworld took over a year. The ratings took a major hit. They lost 25 to 30% of their ratings. And they're going to take another one. And I don't think the show will survive if it has another season like this one. Yes, there are shows that have taken a year off that have done well because they were ending. Breaking Bad took a year off. Sopranos took a year off. And Doctor Who has done it a lot. And I've shown a graph before of the sinking ratings. Let's see if I can find it. I have it around here somewhere. Is that it? That's it. Here we go. Here is the graph of the Doctor Who ratings prior to season 11 and how they have gone. Just look, you'll see them go down and just remember what happened. What was behind that? And yes, there are a bunch of TARDISes that look like penises. I know. Okay. Movie Finobi pointed that out last time. So this is average viewers in the UK. So 7.9 million viewers in the UK equals about 1.5 million, 1.75 million here in the States. Percentages remain the same as far as interest. If it goes down in the UK, it goes down the same percentage in the United States. Doctor Who average ratings from 2005 to 2017, and they've color coded it in lighter blues to signify the different doctors' ratings or eras. Chris Eccleston was 7.9. It is that will not be beat. That is still the best. Unless they fudge the numbers and make Jodie Whittaker's. Fine, go ahead, whatever. 2006, 7.7 million. 2007, 7.5 million. Those drops are normal drops. Look at 2008, 8 fucking million. I'm sorry, that was not the biggest. The biggest was 2008. My bad, because I wasn't reading. Series 4, my favorite series of Doctor Who, the best series of Doctor Who. The specials were awesome. Everything was great. One of the best finales ever. One of the best bow outs out of a show ever. Everything best. Everything was like, it was just like, really, Russell T Davies was smart to go out. I mean, he went out on top. God, I can't believe it's been 10 fucking years since 2008, since season 4. That makes me sad. And then we go to Matt Smith. A lot of people love David Tennant. For it to maintain 7.7 million tells you a lot. Stephen Moffat was very popular. The show started looking a little more slick. And quite frankly, it had one of the best opening episodes of a Doctor ever, 11th Hour. Well done on that series. I like series 5. Had a good everything. Series 6 just dips down normally. That's fine. And then during the 50-year anniversary, they split the freaking seasons, man. Just dumb. I didn't like that idea at all, but they still maintain 7.4 million. They also produced the most Doctor Who episodes they've ever produced in one year, I believe. 2014, Capaldi's first run. Again, maintaining those numbers, 7.3 million. This is good. This is good because he wasn't popular.
America did not like. America wanted a young man, and I think largely that's what American viewers still want, is a young man. In 40s, 50s is too old. We want somebody who could run around, like it or not. This is the action doctor era, and oh God, I thought at least with Jodie, she'd be younger. We'd get a little more actiony stuff. No. So of course we see season 9 and 10 drop drastically. This is because the splits started happening. They started taking delays. They split. They split series 6 too, right? Didn't they do it to? They had a big break in the middle of the year, and then they started doing it and playing games. And well, look, there's no 2016 in there, right? 2014, 2015, and that was actually more than a year. No, that was a year in 2015. Then we had the year break, and it's now 2018. We got series 11, and we're going to get series 12 in 2020. So yeah. So they're just doing a series every year. That's not going to work. That's not going to work anymore, folks. There's also a made vid defending Paul McGann and the Eighth Doctor and the truth about series 11 ratings. Ooh. I will check it out, Tharis. Thanks. And always defend Paul McGann. I am with you on that. There we go. I got you. All right, we got Tharis. He's trying to start up his YouTube channel here, and we always hey, it's fun. Tharis, it was just over a year ago. We're gonna say a year and 6 months. I had 65 subs. I did. So unsolicited advice, put out content. Just put out content. Don't listen to anybody. I mean, like comments and stuff. Don't worry if it gets downvoted more than it's upvoted. Just keep putting out stuff. Get better. If you really want to do this, yeah. So I'm going to link your channel. I am subscribed to your channel. There we go. And thanks for the support, man. I appreciate it. Or I'm saying man. I'm sorry. I'm assuming your gender. Person. We'll say person. But there you go. That's Thari's channel if you want to check it out. He's doing some Doctor Who videos. That's awesome. I missed 3 and 4. Both were amazing. Lenny Fox. I love the Third Doctor. People don't talk about John Pertwee enough. OG Battlestar Galactica too. The Batman. I have been on such a old Battlestar Galactica kick. I spent like $50 on a fucking Viper, which I just don't have right now. I mean, it's very irresponsible of me to do that. The funniest thing about Nerdrotic, Mrs. Nerdrotic and I for Christmas is we just gave up buying shit for each other. We just go, we'll buy ourselves our own Christmas presents, and we get like each other like a little cutesy thing because we're just impossible to buy for. I'm not going to wait for something like, she probably would have bought me this, but there was no way I was going to wait for this. I'm so happy with this right now. I love Hitchhiker. I really love how they're doing the whole VHS packaging. I'm a sucker for good packaging. Good presentation wins the day. Observer Dude, 5 pounds. I think the Picard series should be a prime timeline. Have it be about the return of the Borg. Maybe show how Picard's assimilation still haunts him. I really like that. I really like that. I mean, like, I'm hoping against hope that like maybe Michael Chabon like finds his inner sci-fi writer after his canon camp, his 2-hour canon camp. And they pull out the most amazing series ever. And I just come out here and I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm sorry. This show is good. I was a dick. Everything. I want to do that. I have no problem apologizing. I'm married for a long time. I hope that's it. I tell you what, I did that already for the Orville. I thought the Orville was going to suck. I wasn't a fan of Seth MacFarlane. and I watched it, and I didn't even like the first episode. I'm like, nah. Then a couple friends said, "Hey, go back and watch it." I'm like, okay. So I went back, burned through like 5 or 6 episodes, and like banged myself in the head for not recovering on the show. I went on the next podcast. I apologized humbly, asking for forgiveness. I apologized to Seth MacFarlane. I am now a fan of his. And yes, love the Orville. Love it. I was wrong. I was completely wrong about it. I liked the game of one mashup between Sarah Jane and Rose Tyler. Ooh, I got to watch that. Tell you what, how many boys properties have female action figures that actually sell? That actually sell. I'll tell you, I can name one. Doctor Who. Doctor Who had, they like put the same time into the women action figures as they did the men, and they look just as good. There's Sarah Jane Adventures action figures. It was a female-led action figure toy line that did well. And you know why? Because the stories were good. They didn't like worry themselves. Elizabeth Sladen wasn't walking around how she, all the time. There was stuff brought up in the show, certainly, but nothing bad. God, I miss her. I'm looking up right now. I got my whole hair. Fuck it. Hang on. I should put more Doctor Who stuff behind me. But I'm gonna totally mess with my system there. There we go. That's what I always look up at. I have my TARDIS playset. I can't find my one in my box, by the way. I'm kind of worried about that. I've got one of the 10th Doctor ones in the box. Haven't been able to find it in like a year. But yeah, I can't get higher than that. But I have all 12 Doctors up there. Then I have like just a crap load of dogs. This is the best action figures ever, guys. They really are. Okay. Yes. Oh, I love getting I was getting the comments that, oh, look at the bloody Yanks talking about what we should do for Doctor Who. Yes. I mean, creatively, I don't think I should be involved. Well, maybe now. I would just like broadly, I would say make the Doctor a bloke again. It can be any flavor you like. And by all means, have Ramona come back, have a female Time Lord series. Fuck yeah. And I would bring back Torchwood, which I still think they will in some form or another. I would go, yeah, I'd put 3 shows into production. Oh, you got 75 subs now. Awesome. You got 10. That's cool. You guys are awesome. Thanks. That was cool. That's really cool. You're good people out there, man. See, we're not bad. We just want a good TV show. I never said for 1 second what type of politics. I don't want any. I mean, yeah, I hate it when it's so disingenuous when they go, it's been political before. Yeah, it said war is bad and genocide is bad. And you're going to count that as political. Okay. Drugs are bad. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. War's bad. Genocide bad. I think we can all agree on that. I don't know. I don't have any friends who are pro genocide or war. I don't. I have some friends who have been to war, been at war, fought in a war, but no, I don't think they really enjoyed it. There might have been a couple out there who did, but that's why we have the Punisher. By the way, there was a Punisher teaser today, right? Are you even in? I don't even give a flying crap now. It's just going to be canceled, and I just don't care. And I'm not even going to watch season 3 of Jessica Jones. But wasn't there a Punisher teaser? But we're not going to get any cameos. And I can tell you right now, it won't be as good as season 1. They built up this whole world and just shit canned it. It's January, huh? It's coming out in January. Okay. I should look up what's coming out in January. 2019 TV Release dates. We do this once in a while in the Nooner. We go over the release dates of premiere calendar. Yes, I go to the Rotten Tomatoes premiere calendar. Did we just get a super chat? Did I already? Okay. Lee Crystal One, thank you for the $5. Have you seen Clever Dick films? Great stuff on Doctor Who. I have not. I will look. That goes in my notes, Lee Crystal. Thank you. A good patron, good friend, Lee Crystal. What's it? It was called Clever Dick. Oh, we love Clever Dicks. But we got to shout out to like the dull dicks. Oh, here we go. Okay, January. Let's see what we're going to be covering here because we're mainly a TV channel. We cover news concerning channels, news concerning shows we cover. And we're going to be all like, listen, as much as we're on Doctor Who right now, Star Trek is next. That's a coming, folks. So look forward to a January filled of, because while the season's on, we get more news, and the news I'm sure will just be wonderful. Okay, so and I'll get back to the chat in just a second. Gotham season 5, I'm sorry. Final season of Gotham premieres January 3rd. We may cover that. I'm not sure. The first show that we're covering that comes back in January is, of course, Orville's December 30th. Saturday, January 5th, Young Justice Outsiders premieres. I will be covering that. Project Blue Book premieres Tuesday, January 8th. We are covering every episode of that. That looks amazing. We're just talking about January here. God, The Big Bang Theory. No. Future Man season 2 on January 11th. We will be covering that. True Detective season 3. I will give it a shot. We will see how it is. We will be covering that. It's on the CW. Roswell, New Mexico. Not covering it now. Deadly Class on Sci-Fi. We will be covering that. That is based on a comic book. So what are parameters here, folks? Genre. We are all about genre. Now, once in a while, I'll do a normal drama like Better Call Saul because, sorry for repeating myself, but I like wizards and spaceships and superheroes and robots and drug deals gone bad. That's what I like. We cover what I like. I don't like really, really soapy, sappy stuff. Except for Love Actually. I love that movie quite a lot. We used to cover CW. We don't. The Gifted. I gave it a chance. We are going to cover The Runaways, but that's on the borderline. Cloak and Dagger we don't do, but normally if it's superhero, we cover it. So Deadly Class is we are going to cover. We also have got so many people want us to cover The Magicians, and I can't do it. I can't do it. There's one more in there. Oh, yeah, of course. Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek Discovery returns January 17th. We do have one more short on the 3rd. We also will be covering Counterpart. We also will be doing the Gifted season finale. We will be doing Manifest season finale. So we're very busy in January, folks. Very busy. I will put a link here if you guys want to see what I was looking at. Here, I'll do it right now. This is the Rotten Tomatoes January premiere calendar. Nordell EQNL, thank you for the £5. Thoughts on Carnival Row? Asking for a friend. I don't know. What's Carnival Row? I know Carnival, the HBO series. What's Carnival Row? Should I have thoughts on it? Oh my God, I need to learn how to spell. That really helps, man. The voice is starting to go. God damn, it's going. Oh, okay. Carnival Row is an upcoming American neo-noir fantasy web television series created by Renee Echevarria and Travis Beacon, and that is set to premiere in 2019 on Amazon Video. The series is directed by John Emile and stars Orlando Bloom. Oh, fuck. Nordy, my thoughts on it, we're covering it. It's got Orlando Bloom, and it's a fantasy kind of thing. So I swear I haven't heard of it. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, I'll cover it for sure. A neo noir fantasy. I'm in. Mixed genres? Hell yeah. Oh, I forgot dinosaur too, bro. Yes, well, dragon covers dinosaur, doesn't it? I mean, like giant lizards. Giant lizards. Yeah, Godzilla. That Godzilla trailer. I have listen, the last time I was that excited was by the first Godzilla trailer. And let's be real, the first Godzilla movie was okay. I liked it. But that was one of the most phenomenal trailers ever produced. Having Oppenheimer doing his I Have Become Death thing over Godzilla, that was honestly one of the best directed trailers I've ever seen. It got you, it just like, whoa, that was awesome. Because it really brought in the fear of like, I mean, like Godzilla is a monster movie, but it's supposed to be kind of a horror movie too. You're supposed to be kind of scared, right? And I mean, I was as a kid, but God, Godzilla of King of all monsters. But I say that every time a big monster movie comes out too. Like Pacific Rim, I thought Pacific Rim was just going to be my favorite movie of all time, and it turned out to be pretty good. Kong Skull Island, I thought that was going to be my favorite movie of all time, but then it just turned out okay. I mean, it was good. Godzilla, it was good. I'm waiting for one of these to be great. I really need that. Marvel Runaways is pretty good. Nothing special, but good. Yeah. It has a competent writer behind it. Yeah, a lot of people want us to cover The Magicians. Maybe I'll give it another chance, but I've got to really, I don't know, man. It's just not my speed. I got enough coffees, yes. Oh, well, at least I had. No, it's empty now. It's empty. Plus, I was up till 3 doing that video. I hope you guys liked it. So, yeah, I uploaded it. Was ready, and I upload all the Doctor Who videos in the middle of the night because it's like 8 in the morning in the UK, so you guys get it right in the morning. And I watched it one more time, and I realized I left an entire segment out. I'm like, motherfucker. So I went to go re-edit it and put it back up again, and my whole thing crashed. So luckily I had backups, and I just put it back together again, but that took another hour. And yeah, Kong was good. 6 combat. It wasn't bad. It just was good. Gojira. This is why it's by Gojira. Oh my God. The black and white Raymond Burr one. That is the shit. The Punisher release date rumor is based. Yeah, it's based. It said coming in January 2019. I thought it was coming in February. I that's what I had in my head was February. Also, The Tick is returning in February. You guys got to watch The Tick. It's on Amazon Prime. There's what? How many episodes? 12 episodes. It's so goddamn funny. It is so funny. If you like the cartoon and everything, Doom Patrol, Mark. Yes, Doom Patrol is coming in March. So Titans airs, then Young Justice, then Doom Patrol, then Swamp Thing, then Harley Quinn. That's how it's going to go on the DCU. So they're going to have something rolling all the time. I love that. I'm a fan of the DC Universe streaming service. I am a fan. What's Project Blue Book? Jibba Jabba FPV. I'm glad you asked that. It is a fictional telling of Alan J. Hynek, who was basically the original Fox Mulder. He was an actual guy. He's called the godfather of ufology. He started out as in Project Blue Book, working for the government as a skeptic to go deny everything, to basically he's the one who made up swamp gas. He made that shit up. So he started doing all this, and he was just there to debunk everything so the government could say, hey, look, we looked into this. It was all bullshit. carry on with your lives. As more he got into it, he became a full-on believer, not just a kind of believer. He became a ufologist, probably one of the first ufologists. So it's fictional tales of his experience with Project Blue Book. It's a period piece. Alan J. Hynek is played by Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, Aiden Giddon. And it looks amazing. We saw a bunch of stuff at Comic-Con. It looks amazing. So if you're in X-Files, it's on the History Channel. I have not seen Dream Corp LLC. Fabulous show. I'll have to check that out. Hang on. Again, that goes in its notes. He said Carnival Row and Dream Corp. Gotta have your notebook while you're streaming. That's good. Good stuff. Okay. Sorry, guys. Also, I want to make sure. Oh, we got $1 from Nordry again. Thank you or £1. Thank you so much for that. I missed that. My bad. And Lee Crystal, and thank you guys for the super chat. You guys are nice. That really helps. It really helps. Back to the chat. The DJD show. Yes, Noir sold. Future Man is awesome. Clark Vent, you are correct. It is very funny. I loved Carnival on HBO. Hated that it didn't get more seasons. Oh, the Psycho what is it? The Psycho Magus? Psycho Magus. Sorry. Carnival is one of my favorite all-time shows that has been canceled too early. Ronald D. Moore, Battlestar Galactica, Outlander, Star Trek. Such a good show. I own it. I didn't like The Leftovers for some reason. I don't know why. Eccleston was quite good in it, though. Mothra. Yes, we love Mothra. Just thought you'd want to know, Gary, that Amazon has finally opened up the reviews page for Star Trek Discovery. It was shut down, but now anyone can post a review. Oh, well, that sounds like material, Stephanie Littlepage. Thank you so much. I never have a hard time finding material. I don't like, I'll use articles when I have to, but I like to come up with my own stuff. Yeah, I'm down with The Witcher. I know Henry Cavill, like some people, for some reason he's got this horrible reputation. I'm looking forward to it. The Witcher looks like everything I would like. I have not played the game. I've had a very hard time getting through the audiobook, but I'm still trying to drudge through it. But it looks amazing. So yeah, I'm down. We will be covering that for sure. Lost Room. Yes, I remember. You did. Okay. I will check. All right. Sorry, I was looking at this. You're awesome. I'm just reading your message. There's your channel. This channel is so new that not even I know what it is. Do you Dark Angel Ire? I got your DM. I'm getting back to my chat. Oh my God, it's starting to go up here. Yes, I've seen The Lost Room. Yes. And I've seen Future Man recently, Perth Comics. It took me forever to finally get around to it, but it's funny as hell. I'm not all the way through it, but oh, we're getting a Deadwood movie too. I don't know if you guys like Deadwood. I love Deadwood. Swear engine. Yes. Uh it's time to post on Amazon disclaimer talking about myself. Yes. Yes. I got your DM, Dark Angel. Do you want me to share that? Not really sure. Is it's your channel? You're just starting it out? I'll see. I'll share it. Yeah, I'll share anything. Uh, what's up, man of action? How's it going, dude? Good to see you. Uh, Deadwood was good TV, man. Timothy Oliphant. That's another guy. Um, yeah, I wouldn't call it it's a respectful hetero respect. Um, not to be confused with a crush. It's not a crush. Timothy Oliphant would be in probably every movie I produced. I think that guy is an underused, great fucking actor. Um, what DC character would you cast Timothy Oliphant as? I mean, the go-to easy one, I think, is actually, I think he would probably be a decent Hal Jordan. I think he'd be a very good Hal Jordan. But I think we need to think a little out of the box with Timothy Oliphant because he's got that sinister behind him too. So you could maybe cast him as a villain. But yes, Timothy Oliphant, so good in Go. Go was like one of my all-time favorite movies. I remember I wanted to hate Go because they were promoting it at the time. They're like, "This is a movie of your generation." I'm like, that's a mighty big fucking statement to make about a movie nobody's seen yet. And then when I saw it, I'm all, that was the movie of our generation. Hal Jordan or Two Face. Oh, Lucifer series yeah, Lucifer is great, Broly. We will be covering that too. And the fact that it's on Netflix is amazing. He would be a perfect Kyle Reese, Rich Silverwood. I agree with that completely. Yeah, I mean, he's in oh god, the Santa Clarita Diet, which by all means I should have liked, and I didn't. There's something missing from it. I don't know what it is. Um, probably good writing, maybe. Maybe good writing. I'm not sure. Oh my god, we got so many new freaking patrons, man. Ah, these truly are the days of our lives, said Nathan Norman. Yes. Santa Clarita missed a husband standing up for himself. I did. That's a video you made in 2005. Oh, dude, that was like when YouTube just started. That must have been like video number 72 or something. I did one of those too. It was Logan as a baby. I'm sure everybody is. That's on my other channel though, which I've completely done nothing with in years. So you can see my wedding, all kinds of dumb shit on it. Justified was the shit, Mr. Twisted 72. That was a good show. Deadwood's entire cast was good. Like every single person knew how to act, did it well. Jensen Ackles as the Red Hood, as an older version of it, yes, I still believe so. And he went as the Red Hood for Halloween this year. I thought that was really cool. Made the mistake of watching Buster Scruggs clip on YouTube. Oh, why? Because it's good and you got sucked in. Yeah. Uh, Chris Persia, I love how you said, thanks for letting us know the Discovery reviews are up. It's odd how reviews on the extremes. It's almost like the fans are divided or something. Chris, I know. It's weird. It's so weird. Why aren't the fans just liking the complete shite we're putting out? They're just dumb fans. They just give us money. That's what they do. They sit around, they breathe through their mouth, and they give us money. That's all you dumb fans do. Yeah. Deadwood is one of the rare gems that gets better with age. Indeed. I hope they get everybody. I mean, they need to oh God, don't fuck it up with the movie. What's your opinion on Brightburn turning Superman into a slasher? Yes. Will you and Susan talk about it next time she is in again? Yes, we will, Cajun. I need to learn more about that, to be honest with you. Let's see. I am not against the off the cuff opinion now. Brightburn. Oh, I remember here. Yeah. Okay. Like that would be kind of if it's alternate universe. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me and Susan will be talking about this. Okay. Yes. Thanks for bringing that up. It's another thing I got to freaking note down now. Sorry. I've learned better that I've got to I have to date. Okay. So live streaming 101, have a notebook that's dated or so you can write down when you change subjects. I can't talk. So you can timestamp your live streams because people really like that. And it's kind of time consuming, but I'm going to start doing it. And all the suggestions that people tell you to check stuff out. And believe me, sometimes stuff just goes right in my brain, right? I'm done. Yes, swamp gas, Sunday dinner. Brett Newman. Aki Rose says, Gary, please some of the 5-star reviews of STD. Okay. Let's go there. Amazon.com. Give me just a second. Star Trek. Yeah, I might do that for a separate video too, but let's have a little fun. Okay, so it's got 3.5 stars. Okay. So we got a 5-star review. I'm just picking the first review. Here, I'll share it with you guys. Let's share. We're all friends here. Let's share. Just ignore my porn tabs on top. That's presenting to everybody. Okay. I got to kind of get in here because this is very small writing. I got to blow it up a little bit, folks. Sorry. By Blobcat, 5 stars. Give it a chance. This is Star Trek after all. Well, we already got it. It's Star Trek. Like other reviewers, I really did not want to watch the show when it came out. Between the fact that it was only available on its own streaming service and it seemed to be very not Trek. It just did not seem worthy of my time because my time is so valuable. Yet I knew at some point I was obligated as a fan to watch this. Obligated as a fan. See, this is what we got to fight, folks. I was just not in a hurry. Time passed. Season 1 was long done, and I'm already bored of this review. Get to the point. Everybody feels like they need to qualify this. Just tell us if you liked it or not. I had read nothing about what happened in the show, and then one day I got a free 2-month trial of CBS All Access. So you waited. I decided it was time to rip the Band-Aid off and watch it. Surely 2 months will be long enough to slog through this awful show that I begun watching. The show kind of drops you into the story with no real introduction. True. At first, I was a bit confused, didn't quite get the characters, and couldn't follow what everyone was talking about. Saw some weird looking Klingons I didn't like, and I had even more trouble following the long, subtle subtitled speeches. Yep, I was as expected. Aside from being pleasantly surprised by the music appear sequence, I was not enjoying this. I made it through the 2-part first episode over the course of 2 nights, and even though I was feeling much less confused at this point, I still wasn't getting it. Oh my God, how long does this fucking thing go on? Then everything changed after watching the second episode. When Discovery was introduced, I found myself way more engaged and interested in the plot. I wanted to keep watching, so I watched another episode. This was better. The next night, I continued and watched 3 more. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I finally ended up binging the crap out of the show in the end, and by the end, I wanted to start over and see if I could better appreciate the first episode, and guess what? I did! I ended up watching the whole show again in the span of 3 days and liked it even more the second time around. Anyways, moral of the story, keep watching the show. Keep watching it so you give it a chance. Yes, it's a bit different and takes some getting used to, but it is Star Trek series after all, and it's a really good one at that. Can't wait for this Blu-ray when it comes out. Okay, so you haven't even gotten the Blu-ray yet. Okay. So if you don't like it the first time, just watch it over and over again because it gets better because your first impression's wrong. Because our expectations were subverted. I bet that's it. I bet you were watching it on drugs. Because stuff can get better if you watch it on drugs. I'm just kidding. 1 star from David Allen Hall. Trek or not, the writing is simply bad. You would think that given no production deadline, the showrunners would have time to respect good writing and get the scripts in good order. I don't want to give away anything. Really, really, son, you're not giving away anything. But in every episode, at least one character, usually more, does something completely stupid. Either the forced drama that wasn't motivated, or to motivate a bunch of special effects that don't do any service to the story. The so-called story is a service to the special effects. There are major problems with the writing. The entire season is building toward a focal point, but when the moment comes, the ending is telescopic. It happens in about 3 minutes. It's very definite. It's the very definition of anticlimactic. I would use this season in film school as an example of how not to break 15 episodes. Plus, they hit the reset button, and it's completely unbelievable. I've talked to a lot of Star Trek fans and a lot of other people, and not a single person thought the ending was satisfying or believable. I could go on about how bad the writing was here. Here's the censure. A friend of mine worked on the show, and he said the actors were always asking, why is my character doing this? Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's true. I will repeat that. A friend of mine worked on the show. He said the actors were always asking, why is my character doing this? When that happens, your show is in trouble because it means the writing is implausible. My friend, who has worked on TV for decades, said it happened more on this show than any other show he's ever worked on. The production designs, the costumes, the special effects, the music, it was all fabulous. There's no doubt the show is a spectacle. That makes it all more tragic that the good writing wasn't respected as much as the other production elements. Good writing is where it all begins. David Allen Hall. That's a good review, bud. I like that. That's interesting. I don't know if that stuff is true. Folks, write a review. Here. You guys know how to get there, don't you? I don't know if this link's going to work because it's all linked into my. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, just search it out and give Star Trek Discovery a review. Be honest. Tell them what you really think. I'm going to. I just posted my review. Let's hope that Amazon will let it go through. The thing is, don't be fiery. Don't cuss. Just be very subtle. Be very. Listen, you guys are Star Trek fans. I don't know to tell you to do this. You guys are smart. You'll figure out clever ways to sneak in the jabs without like it being completely obvious. Okay. The Filthy Farmer says, "Hey, Gary, thought I'd pop in for a few minutes and say hi. Hope you've had a great day. I hope you've had a great day as well. Thank you so much." Oh my God, I got too many windows up. I can see myself skipping. I don't want to skip, especially since we're getting so close to the end. Yes, we're getting to the end, folks. I am getting hungry. I'm getting tired, and I'll be back. I'll be back, man. I'll be back Friday. And then I'm sure there's going to be other. There'll be other. I mean, something will come up. I've already gotten just in talking. I've already gotten a couple of ideas for videos. There's a look for a Star Trek one. Okay, so all today, and that's why I need to kind of go. It's going to take a lot of time to do this Christmas idea video for Doctor Who because I was really just blown away at the response. Plus, I think we can get a couple out of it. Plus, I'm going to share some of these on the live streams because there's some really. I thought there were some good ideas. I thought there's definitely shows I would watch as opposed to not watching anything because people ran out of ideas, which makes no sense. Let's get to the chat a little bit. Back for Tsuchi. JDM is back for Super. Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is back for Supernatural. Confirmed. That is awesome. Tiki of Doom, Odds of Aliens, Exozone this Saturday. Watch both Doomcock and I's community side or our Twitter, and we'll announce it. And please, go check out his channel. Subscribe to Overlord DVD. He is production value is great. Scathing commentary that's also equal parts hilarious. Really just well thought out commentary. And he's the future ruler of Earth. He's a person in a costume, and his name is Doomcock. And he is my friend. Dark Angel Ire, Filthy Farmer, Jibby Jabby, FPV, Tiki of Doom, Brent Newman, Jess Reed, Mr. Twisted 72, T Stoney, The DJD Show, Stephanie Littlepage, Six Scale Combat, Broly, I'm just going to say Broly, sorry, Brent Newman, Lamac Ajax, Chris Persia, Matthew Madsen, CD Horde, Alexander Vidakovsky, sorry, Nordry, Connor B. So many fucking people here. God, the numbers we're getting on these things is crazy, people. Jess Reed, Jibba Jabba FPV. There you saw our wonderful patrons. You get stuff. Andre Merrick, hail Nerdrotic, hail sir. OG Spock Love, Graham Robson, Halam 899, Surf Trektronics, my bad. Differently abled Muslim, Jewish, lesbian of color. Oh, it's good to see you. How you doing? Will they remember the years of incredible sexes? What is that? Imagine what these years to 2013, who knows, will be seen in the future. Will they remember these years as incredibly sexist and racist? I know. I'll tell my kids Hollywood was racist. Penn Farm Girl and with the wrench, Mary Ashmead with the wrench, DJ D Show with his wrench. Thank you so much. Amen Woo Woo. Oh, Brent Newman, $2 super chat that I missed. I'm sorry. Amen. No woo woo today. I'm going to save it for Exozone. There is a lot of woo woo, but I'm really super tired. I'm sorry. I'm kind of cutting it out early. I was going to go longer, but I got to go. I got to go and get some food. But I will promise there will be Woo Woo Wednesday will return next Wednesday. And there's something extra special for Exozone. I have seen the Bob Lazar Area 51 and the Flying Saucers film, and I will be reviewing it. It is quite good. Reptilians are real, yes. Man of Action. Poser. You're not a poser. I'm sure that's ironic. And that's as high as I can go. If I didn't get your name, Nyla Shadow. Good to see you, Nyla Shadow, and Truth Apocalypse. Thank you, and Rich Silverwood. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm sorry if I couldn't get to all your chat. Thank you for all the super chats. Of course, I'm going to stop showing you that and show you the super chats now. And thank all the super chats. Thank you for everybody joining the chat. This is my favorite thing to do is the live streams. Chris Persia for Canadian $2. Brent Newman for £5. Pocket Jacks Comics for $5. Pixel Quadrant for £2. Tharies for £2. Stephanie Littlepage for $5. El Rumblo for £5. The Batman for £5. Jim O'Neill for £5. Brent Newman for £2. Brent Newman for £5. Joel Tumbro for $5. Observer Dude for £5. Naudry for £1. Lee Crystal for $5. Naudry for £5. Brent Newman for £2. Look at all you people from the UK. I freaking love you guys. Man, we should almost do it. Tour date over there. I don't need an excuse to go to London and go to the UK. I think I'm gonna make that happen. That would be awesome. Go visit my my friends in the UK. Everybody have a great day. I will be back Friday night, 7 p.m. Hopefully Susan's feeling better. We hope she will. And please look for Exozone on Saturday. We're also covering Titans. Hopefully I can get the Night Flyers and shit. Elseworlds was good. I enjoyed it. It was okay. There was moments of it I didn't and maybe I'll just do a separate video. And also look for our Doctor Who Christmas idea video, which is also coming, and look for a Star Trek video. Everybody have a great day, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Thank you, Wrenches, by the way.